You are looking live at a jam-packed Nanaimo District Secondary School Q Stadium, and today we've got an exciting matchup for you between the Langley Rams and the hometown VI Raiders. The Raiders, Cole, they are looking to finish the season strong here today, and how do they not look past this Langley Rams team and keep the main focus as finishing this season with a winning record? If they win this game today, they will be 5-4-1. They've got the Okanagan Sun next week, but it's important not to look ahead to that one, eh, Cole?
Well, absolutely no. It is important to not look ahead of your opponent here today. I think most importantly, wanting to stay crisp as possible going into that matchup next week for the Okanagan Sun. Going into, a hornet's nest and the number one seed in the BCFC next week, you're going to have to take advantage of today and get some of those reps, get some crisp with both units on offense, on defense, even special teams as well. So I think it's important for the Raiders to come out today and take care of business at home.
And for the Raiders, Cole, last week, Braden Jupe got the start down in Chilliwack, but he was knocked out of the game with an injury, and Zach Golab, the backup quarterback, came in and finished the game strong. What are your thoughts on the quarterback situation going forward, Cole?
Yeah, I'm interested to talk about this storyline as the game progresses here, Noah, as we're going to see both quarterbacks here today for the Vancouver Island Raiders. As you mentioned, Jupe leaving that one last week with a little bit of an injury. I believe it was diagnosed as a lower body injury, so he's going to be fighting through it today, trying to impress and trying to get as crisp as possible, as I mentioned, with this team going into next week and into playoffs, and wanting to cement himself as this team's starting quarterback, as we'll chat about throughout the game. But I believe the team's plan today is going to be kind of to split some reps and go by, maybe 2 series on, 2 series off for each of the quarterbacks. So I'm interested to see how both Golab and Jupe are able to take advantage.
And for the seniors, Cole, it is seniors night here in Nanaimo for the Raiders, and there's a lot of good players who will be leaving the Raiders, but how do they send guys like Felice Toscano off the right way?
Yeah, this is definitely an emotional game, especially for me when having experience playing, my very last football game in the Raiders uniform. So I can imagine, the emotion is going through those guys' minds and heads right now of being the last game they'll ever play in Nanaimo and in a Raiders black uniform, Obviously, they'll be in their ways next week and still have the opportunity. I know if you're talking to a few of those guys, they have their eyes set on maybe hosting the national semi here in a few weeks, but definitely one that these guys are going to end on a high, right? As you mentioned, some of those veterans, the Felice Toscanos, the Kaya Saunders, Marcus Harveys, the guys that have been here through the rough years to kind of rebuild this program and to get back in the playoffs. I feel like they're going to end it on a high note.
A lot of those players, Cole, they went through that tumultuous 0-10 season a couple years here ago for the Raiders. And, of course, with the playoff matchup, it's all booked in, Cole. The Raiders will travel to the Apple Bowl in Okanagan to take on the Sun in next week's time. How do you feel about that matchup if you're the VI Raiders?
Yeah, you got to feel confident for the VI Raiders, and I know they are. As I mentioned, chatting with a few of the players and coaches down on the field, they feel like they can go up in the Apple Bowl and stun the world, stun the CGFL world next week. But it's not going to be any easy task. They're going to have to put in the work at practice next week and take care of business. But I'm sure we'll chat about it throughout the game, Noah, of kind of maybe the game script or the recipe for the Raiders to go up there and shock the Okanagan Sun.
It's pretty amazing, Cole, that just 2 years ago the Raiders were 0-10. You look up 2 years later, they are on the brink of a winning record and punching their ticket to the playoffs. This is a jam-packed stadium here in Nanaimo District Secondary School, and we are all set to get this one going. And it's a short kick that bounces around there and is going to be picked up by the Raiders safely. So an early short kick by the Rams, and the Raiders will get going here at about the 32-yard line. And that is where Braden Jupe will go to work. Jupe making the start today. He was knocked out of the game early last week against the Valley Huskers down in Chilliwack. Zach Golab finished the game for the Raiders, and he finished it with a strong performance, throwing 2 touchdowns, one to Blaze McCarty, a one-handed catch variety. But here is Jupe getting the start in this final game of the season. He lines up in the shotgun. Jacob Celso, the young rookie wide receiver, with his foot on the line at the top of your screen. And here comes a blitz by the Rams, and they're going to go deep down the left side, and it is overthrown, intended for Ruben Bonsu.
Yeah, it's one that the Raiders have been trying to get on the same page, receiver and quarterback deep down the field all season. They've been unable to hit it. And it's going to be one that they're going to need to be able to take advantage of going down the field next week for the Okanagan Sun. So we'll be interested to see if they're able to connect on those deep shots, Noah.
There is a big wind here today, Cole, at this stadium, and how will that play a factor? It looked like that one just took off on Jupe with the wind, eh?
I believe actually, no, it's going the opposite way of the wind, but yes, it will definitely come into play here today, as it was quite breezy down on the field.
Second down and 10, they roll Jupe, empty backfield, and they throw it short, and it is complete to Rondale Isle, but he's hit immediately by the Rams, and that'll bring up a third down and a punting situation for the Raiders.
Yeah, number 22 linebacker Ben Lauren in on the tackle there for the Langley Rams. A player that the Rams coaching staff's very high on, and definitely should be hearing his name quite often here today.
So third down, and Cole McQueen in a punt the ball for the Raiders. He's been the primary placeholder or place kicker and punter this year for the Raiders, and he stands back there at his own 20-yard line and awaits the snap from his buddy from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Max Shipham, who gives him a good snap, and McQueen gets the ball away, and it's a high spiraling kick that bounces it around the 40 and takes a really good Raiders bounce all the way inside the 20, and it's picked up by the Rams, and they're taking it out to about the 21-yard line. So a tremendous kick there by Cole McQueen has flipped the field position for the Raiders, but we do have markers down.
Just another day in the BCFC with markers down on the field, Noah. As the last game we were, I don't know if I should say lucky enough to call a game with 58 called penalties in the game, but as Noah mentioned, I believe the Rams are going to be backing up on this one. Likely a legal block downfield or potentially a block in the back. I wasn't able to catch that one on first glance, but Rams will be backing up deeper into their own territory, and as you mentioned, Noah, McQueen doing a good job of being able to flip the field for the Raiders here.
On a positive, Cole, we made it through 3 plays here in this game without a penalty, so maybe a better start than we had last week in terms of how many penalties are on the field. So
let's not get ahead of ourselves here too quick, though.
Okay, so first down for the Rams, backed up at their own 12-yard line, and it will be Palena Hooper starting the game at quarterback for the Rams. Hooper, number 3, coming up from the state of Washington, right below us here in British Columbia. And here is the handoff off the right side, and it's swallowed up by the Raiders. Max Shipham, who's one of the tackle leaders in the BCFC, he was in on that one.
Yeah, Shipham fighting for that tackle leader in the BCFC coming into this one. I believe that's Lucas Becking, 5th-year running back on the carry there for the Langley Rams. Actually, our player to watch coming into this one for the Langley Rams offense here, Noah. 5th-year guy, very selfless, willing to play all positions in the backfield. As I mentioned, fullback by title, but will play running back as well. Actually had one of the touchdowns for the Langley Rams when these two teams met up in that 29-29 tie a few weeks ago.
So a second down and long for the Rams, and Palena Hooper in the shotgun. He takes a snap. He looks down the middle. He's got a man wide open, and the pass is complete, and that's number 17. That's Natol Tedeschi who makes the catch.
And another 5th-year guy for the Rams there, Natal Tedeschi. Number 17, as you mentioned, just a little crosser route for the Rams. Came out wide open in the zone coverage to look from the Raiders, and he's able to pick up a fresh set of downs for the Langley Rams.
So a good-looking throw there by Hooper. And I felt this for a while, Cole. I think Hooper's one of the more underrated quarterbacks in this conference. He's very athletic, and he's got a nice little motion there.
Yeah, I know you're quite high on Palena Hooper as a quarterback here in the BCFC, and I would say that you definitely talked me more and more into it as well. And I know we had quite the chat coming on the ferry ride home a few weeks ago when these two teams met up as well.
We were watching his highlight video on YouTube, Cole. We tried to search up his high school highlights. I was intrigued to see more of Palena Hooper, but all we could find was his Pee-wee highlights from the state of Washington. But that was a fun watch. It had the Kid Ink Helen Back song that is made so famous by the Tavon Austin reel on YouTube. So a run on first down and a short minimal gain, and a second down and long coming up here for the Rams. It'll be second down at about 6. And the Raiders defense lining up in that one high safety look. Israel Waitman is out for the year, so Caleb Thiessen has assumed the role of the free safety spot for the Raiders. And here is Hooper in the shotgun with a 2-back backfield. And he's got multiple men in motion here. Looks like the left tackle went offside. And the ball is picked off. Look out. It's Aiden Bytel. And Bytel falls to the ground at about the 40-yard line. First down, Raiders.
Aiden Bytel has had himself a phenomenal last few weeks. He had an interception last week, and that was Kaya Saunders, but he was making quite a few plays last week in Valley for the Raiders defense. He was able to come away with an interception. It was actually 2 weeks ago at home, I believe, is when he had the pick 6. But also, actually, I thought it was the left tackle there as well. It looked like it was the receiver that moved first. But it's going to set up the Raiders with a fresh set of downs in Rams territory.
So tremendous starting field position for the Raiders, and it is Braden Jupe in the shotgun. 3 receivers to the top of the screen to the boundary, and they give it to Rondale Isle up the middle. And there's nothing going on there in the middle of that Rams defense. He's taken down for no gain.
And this is, I think, the recipe for, not wanting to get too far ahead of ourselves, but I'm sure it's going to come up in the broadcast here today. Looking forward to next week, and I think this run game for the Raiders has to be a huge key to going into the Okanagan, going up into the Apple Bowl, up in Kelowna, and trying your best to knock them off.
2nd down and 10 for Jupe. He lines up in the shotgun. He missed his first throw deep down the field to Bonsu. And they motion Lyle out of the backfield, and they're going to throw it to Lyle down the right side. Lyle looking for space, and he's got this one close to the 1st down marker, and it should be a 3rd down and about 1 here in an early decision time for the Raiders.
You send out Cole McQueen to attempt a field goal, or do you leave the offense on the field here and try to look for a fresh set of downs with it looks to be about a 3rd and 1, 3rd and 1.5 maybe, Noah?
The wind is at his back right here, so definitely within field goal range, but they are going to keep the offense on the field on 3rd down and 1, and Jupe lines up in the shotgun. He's got Rondé Lyle behind him. Rams show all-out pressure. Jupe rolls and throws and completes to Parker Mosgrip, and Mosgrip gets the 1st down. That's the money man, Parker Mosgrip. He's been the go-to guy this year for the Raiders, Cole.
Nice play call by offensive coordinator Jake LeBurge on that one. The Rams surged on Rondé Lyle, and Jupe able to pull it out of the belly and find Parker Mosgrip for a fresh set of downs here, and hopefully the Raiders are able to put up some points here early on, a thing that they've struggled with all season long, but I feel like capitalizing on that early on is kind of setting the tone for this offense here today.
You have some experience running that slice motion, Cole?
A little bit for sure, and one that I think you kind of put the defense in a win. It's kind of a win-win situation for the offense.
Here's Jupe rolling to his left, half roll, and he throws and completes the ball to Blaze McCarty. McCarty inside the 5, and McCarty is in. Touchdown! Raiders! And the Raiders have taken an early 6-0 lead.
Phenomenal throw by Braden Jupe, and a nice catchable football for Blaze McCarty there to catch the ball, turn upfield, get in the end zone for his Raiders early on to put up 6 points here on the board. And as I mentioned, kind of set the tone here early on that the Raiders are the better team, and they're going to show it here today.
Blaze McCarty getting into the end zone. A nice half roll there, getting the quarterback on the move, comfortable out of the pocket, and a perfect throw by Braden Jupe on the run to Blaze McCarty. And he makes no mistake. He breaks the tackle of the Langley Rams player and takes it in for a touchdown. Here's Cole McQueen on to attempt the extra point, and it's going to be a short one, of course. They don't attempt 32-yarders here in junior football, and McQueen's got the ball up, and the ball is through. He makes no mistake, and the Raiders have a 7-0 lead over the Langley Rams with 9:25 to go in the first quarter.
So I think, as I mentioned, it's going to be tough to kind of not have the conversation and look forward to next week, but when thinking about the matchup versus the Okanagan Sun defense, I feel like the Raiders' passing attack this season has really, I feel like, struggled to get on the tracks consistently all season. I feel like next week versus the Okanagan Sun, they have to be able to throw the ball and can't really just be one-dimensional versus the Okanagan Sun defense like that.
No doubt about it. So here comes McQueen to do the kickoff duties. It's good to see he's feeling better. He got hit quite a bit a few weeks ago against the West Shore Rebels, Cole, didn't he? You remember that one? We
do, for sure. It's nice that they have the luxury of having a few other kickers that are reliable as well in Sterling Henry, and I know other guys that are reliable kickers as well.
His left foot was all taped up for a couple weeks there, but it looks like McQueen is at full strength and good to go here, and he puts his foot on this one. It's a low driving kick that takes the returner all the way back to the 5-yard line, and that is number 39. That is Pharaoh Hassan taking it down the left side, and he's taken out of bounds there by the Raiders.
Helena Hooper will lead his offensive unit back onto the field for the Langley Rams, scrimmaging what looks from just past the 30-yard line.
So as you heard after that touchdown, Cole, we got John Cena again. It seems to be a very constant theme here at Nanaimo District Secondary School, getting the time is now John Cena chant. And as you mentioned with the farewell tour, it's a good time for it.
It's got to be the same playlist all season long or something.
Absolutely. So first down for the Rams, and they line up in the shotgun from the 32-yard line, and Helena Hooper calls for the snap, and he's got it, fakes the give, makes a man miss, and slides down safely. And he's taken down there by number 71. That's Gavin Taylor, who is the closest man to him.
Don't believe Gavin will get credited with the sack. Looks like he just made it past the line of scrimmage, or at least back to the line of scrimmage. But good job there by Gavin to at least tap him down and making sure Plano wasn't able to turn that into a bigger play, as he made the first defender miss with a little bit of a pump fake there. But second and long for the Rams here.
And Hooper will line up in the shotgun. It's one man on the backfield. 5 receivers in the formation. They empty the backfield now. and Hooper looks to his left and throws. He's got a man open, but the ball travels out of bounds.
Tough one. That's going to be a quick 2-0 for the Langley Rams offense. The Raiders will take possession of the ball and hopefully be able to start in manageable situation here, or manageable field position. We'll see what the Rams punter is able to get off here, but looks like he'll be punting from within his own 20 or just outside of his own 20. So we'll see what Deshaun Jacobs is able to do on a return, as the Raiders, I know, have liked what they've seen from him in the last few weeks returning.
Deshaun Jacobs was electric a few weeks back against the Langley Rams in Langley near Vancouver. And Jacobs, he's a dangerous man. He stands back there around at his own 42-yard line and awaits the punt. And he's not going to get a chance to return this one because the ball is completely shanked for about a 5-yard punt out of bounds.
Yeah, that wasn't a great one off the side of the foot of the Rams punter there. Looks like the Raiders are going to get tremendous field position here, Noah, inside the Rams' own 40-yard line.
Wow. So for the second time today, the Raiders start the drive on the opponent's side of the field, and that is not something the Raiders have been much accustomed to this season, Cole. They've had a tough time with field position all year long, haven't they?
Yeah, they have, and such a big part of the Canadian game, as we know, Noah.
Jacob Celso is the slot at the top of your screen. And
is that Trey, 85, that's kind of rotated in there, I believe, with the ones?
I believe he has. So here's the shotgun snap to Zach Golab in at quarterback now, and he's going to give it off the left side to Parker Wills, but there is nothing doing there for Wills. He's taken down for a loss of about 1.
And we heard pregame that some of the twos would be rotating in there with some of the starting group, and I know we talked with head coach Sean Arabsky and offensive coordinator Jake LaBerge pregame and said they're going to be rotating the quarterbacks every 2 series, so it'll be interesting to see how they are able to get in some of their depth options and take a look at some of these young guys here today as well.
Definitely doesn't make the job easy for us broadcasters, Cole. Trying to keep in touch with the young players who don't have numbers we're very familiar with. We haven't seen them all year, but the Raiders are going to rotate the quarterbacks, and here's Golab on the second drive, and he's got the snap, and he looks to his left, fires it out there, and completes the ball to Mostrip, and Parker Mostrip, the most reliable receiver for the Raiders all year long, he's got a first down.
Nice throw there by Golab. Leading his receiver for a catchable ball and able to turn upfield for the first down there. And as you mentioned, Parker been doing this all season for the Raiders.
What are your thoughts, Cole, about switching the quarterbacks every drive, every 2 drives? I thought maybe they'd play one in the first half, one in the second half. It's an interesting formula.
It definitely is, Noah. I feel like from an inside perspective, I don't know if I'd enjoy that too much of not being able to get in a full rhythm, but we'll see how it's able to pan out today as Jupe's already 1 for 2 on touchdown drives.
Golab on the roll, throws deep, got a man wide open, and the pass is caught, and he is in for the touchdown, and I believe that is Trey. Wow, what a throw by Golab on the run there, Cole.
Terrific throw by young Zach Golab. I believe the referees are talking. Make sure that he stretched over the goal line and crossed the pylon. Looks like he's going to be marked just short of the end zone there, Noah, marked on the 1-yard line.
Trey Paris with a great catch off the bootleg by Golab. They roll him out to his right, and Golab with a really good-looking throw on the run to Trey Paris. Let's see if he got in here, Cole. No, good call by the referee. He was out at about the 2-yard line, stepped out of bounds shortly before taking it in. Here's Golab in the shotgun, fakes the give, throws inside, caught! Touchdown! Raiders! And guess who, Cole? It's the outstanding rookie, Jacob Celso.
The Golab to Celso connection paying off in a touchdown. Love the play call there once again. Looked like a little bit of an RPO action. Golab sticking the ball into the gut of young Parker Wills and pulling it out and finding his receiver in the end zone. Celso was able to make a move past his defender and with ease catch a touchdown pass for the Vancouver Raiders to put them up here 13-0 pending the extra point.
And here comes that extra point by Cole McQueen. The Raiders off to a red-hot electric start here in this one. McQueen's got the ball up, and it is good. And the Raiders have a 14-0 lead over the Langley Rams. How about this start by the Raiders, Cole? We have not seen this all year long.
This is a perfect starter for the Vancouver Raiders. That not much to play for here today. You start out fast. Hopefully you're able to get out to, maybe a 3-4 score lead here. Rotate in some of those backups. Kind of get those guys some good looks for next week, and then, have them in the baseball hat, unbuckle the pads, get the spits out, and enjoy the second half from watching. And hopefully these young guys are able to take advantage of their reps. But Still early here, as we know, a long football game in Canadian football. So got to keep the foot on the gas and continue to do it.
Got to be encouraging for the Raiders to see both quarterbacks playing at a high level so far, especially throwing on the move. And I know that's something you like to see, Cole. Moving the pocket, making it easier for your quarterback, throwing on the run, cutting the field in half. 6 minutes and 37 seconds to go here in the first half. And it is Cole McQueen who will put his foot into this one again. And it's an onside kick. It's up right up the middle. It bounces around. Do the Raiders get on this thing? No, they do not. The Rams are able to recover it, but a surprise onside there by the Raiders.
I like the attempt there, and special teams coordinator Tarek Ryan has been doing this all season. He's been very aggressive at his fakes, his onside punts and stuff like that, and you love to see it.
So the only negative to that is that the Rams, for the first time today, will have very good starting field position and right around the midfield stripe. It's at their own 53-yard line. And, Cole, we expect to see the backup quarterback for the Rams at some point today. That'll be something to keep an eye on. For now, it is still Palena Hooper, who fakes the give and rolls to his right. He's chased by a few Raiders, and he's taken down there on the play. There is a penalty flag down.
Yeah, as you mentioned, I believe from what speaking with Coach Cole Barron out on the field there, going to see Palena Hooper maybe for the first half or maybe into the third quarter, and then going to see young Tristan Clark into the game here for the Rams. The Rams program wanted to get a look at their young quarterback, and Hooper still battling through some injuries here, long season. The long 12-week season, you could have the bumps and the bruises. I know last week he wasn't able to go, and trying to give it all he can here today in the last game of the regular season.
We wait to check on the penalty. It looks like it was on the Rams, and it's of the 10-yard variety, so it'll put them in a first down and 20 here, and not where you want to be if you're the Rams. Goal. They have struggled the last few weeks. A 90-plus point loss to the Okanagan Sun. Not where the Langley Rams are accustomed to being. Here's a screen pass, and it's complete. No, it is dropped. Wow, it is dropped there by Bruce Jones, and that's an uncharacteristic drop from a guy who's a good running back in this league, Cole.
Yeah, very uncharacteristic, and this offense is very not in rhythm here to start the game in the first quarter here early on, and hopefully they're able to get back on track here.
Last week, Cole, we talked about the hopefully word, being careful to use it for the Raiders, but with how bad the Rams have been the last few weeks, maybe we're hoping the best for them, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. And remarkable stat I heard today, actually, Noah, just the longevity of the Rams team. First time they've missed the playoffs since 1988.
Wow, that is pretty unbelievable. So a second down and 20. Palena Hooper in the shotgun. They go quads to the left. They fake inside. They throw it out there. And the pass is complete to Marcus Jones. And Jones is gang tackled there by about 4 VI Raiders. Shipham was in on that one again. You got to expect he's trying to get that league lead in the tackle category, but we do have markers down, and I'm a little worried this might be a late hit on the Raiders.
Yeah, they did a good job of rallying to the ball carrier there and gang tackling the ball carrier, as I mentioned, but they might have been a little bit too aggressive, as you mentioned. It might have been a late one.
Caleb Charlton was in on that one. Bytel was in on that one.
The whole defense down here.
Holy smokes, Cole. You want to talk about rallying to the football. There's about 6 or 7 Raiders on them on that one.
That shot we had on the replay there was a beautiful one. I'm sure if your defense coordinator, Sean Moravsky, you're loving that one watching the game back.
That might be one you put up in the locker room as a sign of what you want to see from your defense. But the penalty will give the Rams a first down here as they move the chains. So
did you catch the call there, no?
I think it was unnecessary roughness. One of the Raiders came in late to the pile. So a first down for the Rams at the 49-yard line of the Raiders, and they'll give it inside to Bruce Jones. But there is nothing doing there. And your player to watch here today, Cole, for the Raiders, that is number 97. He was in on that one.
Yeah.
Jaden Onduya.
Out of London, UK, coming over, and I feel like it's been a very underrated piece to this defense, and does a lot of the dirty work. And obviously you have guys like Quantarius Lusk and Tanai Wisdom, who are actually unlucky enough not to see here today. And talking about a guy, the tackle leader, Max Shippen, going for it. Tanai Wisdom I thought was going to be playing for the sack lead, but unfortunately not able to go here today.
So second down and 9 for the Rams, and they put Hooper in the shotgun, 2 backs in the backfield, 1 motions down the line, and they'll drop Hooper straight back to pass, and he swings it out there to Bruce Jones. Jones has got to make a man miss. He puts his head down, but he's going to be short of the first down. It'll be third down coming up here.
I'd like to see this Rams offense stay aggressive here and try to go for it on third down. I think this is definitely out of your field goal kicker's range. And punting here, yeah, you could flip the field position, pin the Raiders deep, but I think you got to stay aggressive here and try to look for some points on this this drive right here.
Also, Cole, if it's any indication what the punter's abilities are, that first one was not a good-looking one off the side of his foot. So 3rd down and 3 for the Rams. They're going to leave the offense on the field. There's 2 men in the backfield. And Polina Hooper is making some changes here. Maybe is he calling an audible, or are they trying to draw the Raiders offside? We'll see. It looks like they are going to go. Here comes the blitz by the Raiders. They run it up the middle with Bruce Jones, and it looks like the Rams got the first down there.
Nice job by the Rams offensive line there to get a push. Gave Bruce Jones a nice clear lane to pick up that first down and move the chains for the Rams here. And they said, you know what, we're going to run the ball. We know that you know that we're running the ball, and we're just going to pick this one up here. So let's see if they're able to capitalize though here and put some points up on the board, because the Raiders have really took hold of momentum here early on.
Now, Cole, the Raiders don't have Tanai Wisdom for this game. That is another thing to keep an eye on here, how they're going to generate a pass rush without the man who's near the league lead in sacks in the BCFC. But they're able to get in on him here, and it's Caleb Charlton who's in on the tackle, wearing 44 for the Raiders. His number 52 was ripped in half a week ago, and so he's wearing 44 here for the Raiders, and we do have a Ram down on the field.
It's funny when talking about Charlton, actually, that both sets, not only the home blacks, the road whites actually ripped as well. So both on the road and at home, he'll be now number 44.
So, Cole, we talked about the loss of Tanai Wisdom, and how does that affect this defensive line? And also, Cole, do you know why he's not even here today?
We didn't get really a reason down on the field pregame, but did see him in Valley last week. Had the 4 sacks, a part of the 10 sacks performance for the VI Raiders last week, which was tied for 4th best all time in the CJFL. So definitely is going to affect them here today, as we had a late flag, I believe, by the injured player, as he, I believe, might have said something there, Noah, leaving the field. Most definitely said something.
That is not what you want to see. A guy who's injured and limping off the field, and now he's talking his smack to the Raiders. He's probably going to get a talking to from the coaching staff on that one. Not a wise decision.
Yeah, very undisciplined.
By number 55. That's Max Hansen, who just cost his team yardage there as he leaves the field on an injury.
Now you back your team up into a 2nd and very long now, and but to get back to the Tanai Wisdom, I feel like that's just definitely not a good sign, especially going into a big playoff game next week where you're going to need your star pass rusher to be at his best.
So a 2nd down and about 20 here for the Rams. Polina Hooper in the shotgun, and the Raiders will bring a 5-man rush, and Hooper throws to his left, and it's nowhere near the intended receiver, and this should bring out the punt team for the Rams.
Yeah, Hooper's missed a few here early on and had some open receivers to pick up some. That would have been a 1st down, but would have got close back to the original line of scrimmage, and the Rams punting unit is going to walk onto the field and look to pin the Raiders deep here.
Can you get the number of that punter, Cole? I can't quite see it right now. They have 2 guys that are designated as kickers on this team. One is Antoine Moya.
I believe that's who it is number 34, Antoine Moya.
Moya in to punt it, and he stands back at his own 50-yard line and awaits the snap. It's a good snap, and he gets the ball away. This kick's a lot better than his first one, but he's going right into the wind, and you can see that ball just absolutely die on him, and it's going to be returned there by the Raiders. That's Deshaun Jacobs out past the 25-yard line and about the 28, 29-yard line, and here comes the Raiders offense. It'll be interesting to see who's coming out at quarterback here.
Looks like it's Zach Golab trotting back on in the field.
And
Deshaun Jacobs, yep.
Staying in at running back here. Interesting. Watch this ball just die on him here, Cole. The kick looked good initially, but that wind just takes it straight down, kicking into the wind there. So a 1st down for Zach Golab at his 28-yard line.
Harmon Ahuja into the game now for the Raiders offense.
And they'll give it off the left side to Deshaun Jacobs, and he's a load to bring down, pushing tacklers ahead. What could have been a loss turns into a gain of 1.5 yards. Jacobs runs hard. He is as far as this backfield is concerned, probably the power back in this Raiders backfield.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just a tough one for offense coordinator Jake LaBerge to kind of juggle all three of his backs and make sure that you're shifting them all at the right time and playing the hot guy and riding the hot hand, I guess, even more, as I mentioned.
And Jacobs carrying 3 Langley Rams there. 2nd down and 8 for the Raiders. Golab in the shotgun. And Ruben Bonsu with a running start at the bottom there. And Golab throws, and the receiver fell down. There's no penalty flag down for pass interference. And we've got a man down for the Raiders. That looks like it's Chase Hahn. He's late getting back to his feet, but he is able to get back to his feet. And the Raiders punting unit comes on the field here.
Raiders offensive line still playing a little bit shorthanded. I believe Ty Teal not in the lineup here today, so having to get it done and wanting to juggle, also wanting not to have any injuries follow through to next week.
So McQueen in a punt this one. He stands back at his own 15-yard line, gets the snap, and there's a little bit of pressure on him there, but he gets the ball away, and it goes out of bounds. So not McQueen's best effort with the win there at his back. And the Rams will start.
Looks like just past midfield the referee walked.
That is correct. 53-yard line of the Raiders.
Let's see if Plano Hooper can kind of start to get something going here. The last drive they started to pick something up, and unfortunately just the penalty kind of knocked them out of sorts there.
So 1st down for the Rams. Plano Hooper still in at quarterback. We were told by the head coach, Cole Barron of the Langley Rams, to expect to see the backup at some point here today. He's a highly touted quarterback out of British Columbia here. And the fake inside, Hooper on the roll, and he's got a man wide open, and the pass is complete. And that is number 30. That's Damon Badenhorst, who makes the catch and takes the ball up for a 1st down. Badenhorst is fired up after that one.
Yeah. Damon, part of that kind of 3-headed monster out of the backfield with Bruce Jones, Reggie Ellie, and shout out to Reggie, seeing him suffer that injury last week versus the West Shore Rebels. And as I mentioned, Damon, kind of the 3rd name in the backfield coming out of there, able to pick up a 1st down for the Rams and put them into just outside the red zone.
1st down for the Rams. This is the deepest penetration they've had on the Raiders all game long so far. In the shotgun, Hooper. Here comes a blitz by the Raiders. They're going to run it with number 30. That's Badenhorst again, and he carries ahead for a really good-looking run on 1st down of about 9.
Badenhorst is quite the load as a ball carrier, and he runs behind his pads. He's very physical back.
Looks like he's got that mullet going on there, Cole. Always a good sign. He looks like A.J. Ouellette for the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
I was going to say slap a 44 on him, and he runs just like a mean fullback type of runner.
So 2nd down and 2. Hooper is in the shotgun here, and he awaits the snap from his center. 2 receivers to the top of the screen, 1 to the bottom. They throw a wide receiver screen out there to number 13, a little bit of hesitation, but he takes it down the sideline. He's got a 1st down, and a good-looking run there by Tyson Galai.
Yeah, Tyson's been their kind of receiver 1 for the Rams this season with the departures of Isaiah and Terrell in the offseason. Tyson stepped up in a big way at being that number 1 guy for the quarterbacks of the Rams this season.
So Galai takes the ball out of bounds inside the 10-yard line of the Raiders, and we will be right back. We are switching sides here, and the Raiders' defense is going to have to find a way to hold them to a field goal here.
Probably the best opening quarter we've seen from the Raiders, though, from a whole, right? 0 points given up by the defense, 14 points scored by the offense. So let's see if they can put together a complete 60-minute effort here.
Absolutely. A really good first quarter by the Raiders. They lead at 14-0, giving these fans something to cheer about here on senior night. And the ball will be spotted at the 12-yard line. So they can get a 1st down and get a goal to go at about the 2. So the Rams offense, Cole, what have you seen from it so far in this first quarter? It's been a tough one.
It has been a tough one. They've missed some throws for sure and penalties that have put them into 2nd and long situations. But they've started to put together a few positives here in the last 2 drives, but let's see if they can cash in with some points here.
So Hooper in the shotgun from the 12-yard line. They can get a new set of downs at about the 1-yard line. And this Raiders defense looking to hold the Rams to a field goal here. As the referees just have a short discussion. It looks like it's about the sticks down there, Cole. I don't know if you can see what's going on down there.
Wouldn't be surprised to see if the sticks might have broke, or they're trying to adjust on the fly down there.
You hear there from the PA announcer, he says some technical difficulties going on with the sticks, and that's nothing new for junior football in Canada.
Looks like we're all fixed and waiting to blow the play in here. And
one thing I will say, Cole, apart from the one personal foul late hit, the Raiders have done a good job of staying out of the penalty box, which is nice to see after the game against the West Shore a few weeks ago. So here comes an all-out blitz by the Raiders. There's a man wide open in the end zone. And Hooper, Cole, he just does not look comfortable in that pocket. He's throwing off his back foot pretty early and often here.
yeah, and kind of the MO or the calling card of this Raiders defense is they like to send a lot of pressure, extra bodies that kind of overwhelm that offensive line or blocking scheme of opposing offenses. And there, Hooper, as you mentioned, just hasn't looked really comfortable all day and trying to throw to a spot where his receiver might be, and he was
had him wide open.
Yeah, the ball was behind him for sure.
Michael Bosch in on coverage there. So second down for Hooper, and you don't want to settle for three here. Trading threes for sevens, not a good sign. Here comes an all-out blitz by the Raiders. They're in on Hooper. He gets away, throws into the end zone, and it's nearly picked off by the Raiders. It bounces to the turf and
Kind of the same play almost there, it looked like, you know?
Yeah, I thought so too.
But kind of similar to the previous play. Raiders sending extra bodies. Hooper wanted to get it out quick. He ends up making a defender miss. I believe it was Sterling Henry coming up the pipe.
Nice move by Hooper.
But as you mentioned, kind of throwing off the back foot a lot of the time.
Just does not look comfortable in that pocket at all. So here comes a field goal attempt, and it's a short one. It's going to be about 20 yards here. And we'll wait to see the number there for the kicker. I can't get a number on him there, Cole.
I can't either.
So here comes the kick. And it is good. So the Raiders, their lead is cut to 11. The score is 14-3 now. That's
Samir Mogul, yeah.
Yeah, number 87. That is Sarthak Dosage. Sarthak Dosage. One of the tougher names to say in the BCFC.
CGFL all-name team.
So the Raiders electing to take the ball at the 35-yard line after the field goal. They don't want to return this one. And interestingly enough, Cole, it's Braden Jupe back at quarterback here for the Raiders. So they continue that quarterback juggling game. Jupe is in the game, and the referee spots the ball. Jake Giokis will snap it back to him, and we're all set here to go with 14:07 to go in the first half here. Jupe fakes the give and throws a wide receiver screen out here to Cameron, and he takes the ball up for about a gain of about 3.
Cameron Skoberg, another depth receiver that the Raiders are high on and wanted to get him some looks here today. Going to integrate him throughout the game with the starters and get him some looks, hopefully.
I'm not sure. That may be the first career CJFL reception for Cameron Stoberg. So congratulations to Cameron on that reception. That's a big one. And the Raiders are very high on Cameron Stoberg. And he will line up at the bottom of your screen there. And the snap to Jupe. He rolls and throws and completes to Rondé Lyle down the right sideline. And Lyle forced out of bounds across the midfield stripe. A good-looking sprint out there.
I really like that play there from Braden Jupe of not taking too much time, getting the ball in his weapon's hands right away, giving it to Rondé Lyle, letting him turn up the corner and pick up the first down a little bit more on the play there.
So first down Raiders across the midfield stripe. The ball is spotted about the 54-yard line. And Jupe will line up under center here. Parker Mosgrip is in the backfield as well at the fullback spot, and he motions down the line. And they give it inside to Rondé Lyle, but he is tackled immediately. And
Ben Lauren, number 22 again.
Yeah. Ahuja is in the game for the Raiders. Blaze McCarty still in there, so a lot of juggling going on in the starting lineup and on offense for the Raiders goal.
Has to be a nice feeling though when you can juggle 6, 7, 8 racks into the game and be comfortable that they can kind of hang with the starters.
It's one of the more deeper positions that the Raiders have at that spot. So Jupe in the shotgun, 2nd down and 8, calls for the ball and gets it. He throws out to the wide side here and completes the ball to Bonsu on the hook pattern, and Bonsu runs ahead for the 1st down.
Good job by Braden Jupe once again, getting the ball out of his hands quickly, putting it into the hands of his playmakers and letting them pick up 1st downs for him. Something that I feel like they've needed to do much more of all season with Braden Jupe, of getting the ball out of his hands much quicker and letting his playmakers make plays.
Good decisive throw there by Jupe, and Bonsu able to get the 1st down. Raiders at the 43-yard line. Jupe in the shotgun, Rondé Lyle behind him, Blaze McCarty at the bottom of your screen there, and they fake the inside zone play, and they throw again, exact same man, Ruben Bonsu on the hook pattern, and a gain of about 7.
Yeah, as I mentioned, this is something that the Raiders have needed to do all season long, and waited till week 12 to kind of start to get some of those looks at, the 2024 All-Canadian Ruben Bonsu that I know they've tried actually. It's not for lack of effort, I should say, of some of the key ones and receiver screens that they've gotten the ball into Ruben Bonsu's hands, but I feel like some of those other down the field routes they've maybe not done a good job.
Jupe in the shotgun. The motion man is Ahuja, but they give it inside to Rondé Lyle, and Lyle carries for a 1st down. So getting a good push from the interior of that offensive line.
Moving the chains once again. Chains on the Raiders sidelines. You got to love to see the chain gang getting a workout here, and up and down the sidelines. The offense has been moving.
This offense for the Raiders looking as good as they've looked all year now. Of course, it is the Langley Rams, so we put a grain of salt on that, Cole. But 1st down here for the Raiders. 2 men in the backfield. Mossgrip is the first one through from the fullback spot. They fake the give to Lyle. Jupe sets up in the pocket. He's got tons of time. Rolling to his right. He's going to throw deep down the right side for Mossgrip, and the ball is out of bounds.
Yeah, it looked like a pretty heady play there by Parker Mossgrip as he hit the sideline, started to wheel up, and saw his quarterback extend the play. Is that Chase?
That is Chase on, yeah.
Right tackle.
As you see, Greg Finstad there, the head trainer, is in to take a look at Hahn, and that's not a good sign for the Raiders, Cole. He is their starting tackle for the majority of the season this year.
Yeah, starting right tackle. They're already without Ty Teal, as I mentioned, starting left tackle here today, so could be playing with 2 depth options at tackle here going into the playoffs, which is never a good sign for a team. But I do believe they're pretty hopeful that Ty is maybe going to be able to play next week and give it a go up in the Okanagan, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully it's just some bumps and bruises, as it's a long 12-week season, Noah.
It certainly is. So that'll bring Jace Brennan in there at the tackle spot as well.
I believe Chase was already in at left tackle, so I'm curious to see who they juggle.
I don't know who the next guy is going to be, Cole. I could be Chase. I don't know who they're going to bring in here, Cole.
I'm curious if they maybe juggle
Sean
around
Kakakawa?
Jake Giokis out at tackle and maybe bring Brett Chipple out at, or bring Brett in at center and maybe put Jake out at tackle. I believe that's what they're doing. No. So they're sliding Jake Giokis, their best offensive lineman, out to tackle, it looks like, based off their huddle, and Brett Chipple in at center.
Well, congratulations to Brett Chappell. He's one of my favorite players on the team, a very fun guy to talk to.
Chase not putting a lot of weight on that. Looks to be right leg.
That is not a good sign if you're the Raiders.
Ty Teal, I believe, meeting him out on the field.
Obviously, one of the goals of this game, Cole, just coming out healthy.
Absolutely.
In a game that
arguably the number 1 goal.
In a game that has really no playoff implications whatsoever. So here is Jupe in the shotgun with Mossgrip to the left of him, and Parker Wills is behind him. All-out blitz coming, and the Raiders look like they might have been able to get the Rams to jump offside there.
Yep, so a little bit of juggling going on. It does look correct as Jake Giokis, number 50, at right tackle. Brett Chipple in at center. One that's no surprise to see defensive coordinator there, Cole Barron, and head coach kind of dial up a blitz there on the first play to heat up the offensive line there when they bring in some of the backups there.
Brett Chapel, a big South Park fan, and he is very excited about this new season of South Park. He's been telling me all about it. So Second down and 5 for the Raiders, and Jupe is in the shotgun again with Parker Wills behind him. And they're going to fake the give to Wills, and Jupe's in trouble, and he's just got to throw this one away. He's driven into the ground, and it looks like he's going to get a roughing the passer call here.
Riley McDonald, number 44 for the Langley Rams. Just a little bit too aggressive there.
I'd like to see the replay on that one. It looked like he had a hold of Jupe even before he threw the ball.
I think it's the throwing down is what got him, I think. So I agree with you.
Driving him into the ground.
Yeah, as we know, just the protection of the quarterbacks and the day and age that we are in now. Obviously, as a former quarterback, I love to get the protection, but let's see if we can get a replay here. Yeah.
Here it comes.
Because as you said, I do believe he gets wrapped up before he releases the ball.
Let's see. So he fakes the give. He's rolling out here. Stiff arm into the face. I can't quite see it there.
Our camera guy followed. Oh, Marcus Harvey.
Nice catch on the sideline by Marcus Harvey, a guy that I've thrown multiple touchdowns to in flag football in the indoor men's league that we played in. Cole.
Our camera guy's too good, staying with the ball.
So, first down for the Raiders, and Braden Jupe will line up under center here, and Parker Wills is in the backfield behind him. We'll see if they go back to that ground game or whether they roll Jupe off the play action. Harmon Ahuja is in the slot, and they'll give it to Parker Wills. He juggles the ball on the handoff, but is able to get control of it and takes it ahead for a gain of about 7.
Yeah, didn't get off to the best start there. As you mentioned, Parker kind of juggled the handoff there, but he was able to turn into a 7-8 yard carry here.
So this Raiders offense, Cole, this is as good as they've looked all year, right?
Absolutely, especially at home.
Yeah, no doubt. At home, it's been even more of a struggle than the road. So second down and about 3 for the Raiders. And it'll be interesting to see what the call is here. The ball is on the 5-yard line of the Langley Rams. A field goal doesn't hurt you here. It makes it a 2-score game again. Would take the deficit back up to 14. We'll see if the Raiders stay aggressive here. Wills is in the backfield. Here comes a blitz by the Rams. They throw inside, and it is caught by Ruben Monsu. Touchdown, Raiders! Ruben Monsu on the receiving end of that one. He's fired up, and Alex Bonnetplume, his receiver coach, is happy for him.
Nice job by Braden Jupe, giving a nice catchable ball once again. Slant pattern there by Ruben Bonzu, able to get a step on his defender, and touchdown Raiders. Noah, have we had 3 touchdown Raiders in a game yet?
I think this is the first time all year we've been able to get that goal. It's nice to see for a change a little bit of offense in the game early on.
We still got 10 minutes to go in the first half here. Unfreaking believable here as Cole McQueen puts the extra point through the uprights. There's a flag down on the field, so pending the flag, should be 21-3 here.
The referee's having a little discussion here. We'll see what the call is, but it like you said, it should be 21-3. Cole, 9 minutes and change to go in the second quarter here. The Raiders with a 3-score lead over the Langley Rams.
And this is exactly the game that you want to have going into the playoffs, right? Where, you know, these two teams tied 3 weeks ago over in Langley, right? If you're the Raiders, you want to clearly make sure that there's no, you know, who are the better teams. You are decisively the better team here today. You go into playoffs on a high note. You go into the playoffs feeling good about yourselves, crisp. The offenses look good here. I feel like the offenses as well could maybe put on, you know, another field goal or touchdown on the board. So could be better. You still have the good, you know, happy with the win, but still a lot to work on going into next week. And hopefully the Raiders are able to continue here, as I mentioned, to have a full 60-minute effort to end the regular season.
So the extra point was good. It is 21-3, and Cole, it looks like there's a penalty on the Rams. It's going to be applied on the kickoff, and so Cole McQueen will kick off from the Rams' 50-yard line, and he should be able to get this one close to the goal line here.
No, this is one that we haven't had the opportunity to have the conversation yet. Just think about this, in maybe 2-3 years' time, there won't be a 55-yard line here in the CJFL.
It's a very interesting point, Cole. The new rules in the CFL that will be applied in, 2027, I think is when it takes place?
Correct, Noah.
So here's the kickoff by McQueen, and he really steps into this one, and it takes a bounce and hits the goalpost, and there you go, Cole. Speak of the devil. And the return will come out to about the 15-yard line. But Cole, Uprights at the front of the end zone, that's something we might not see in a couple years' time.
Perfect transition, Noah, as we were just chatting about the new CFL rule changes. Working with the conference and having a few chats with Tyler McLaren, president of the BCFC. Not too sure if the changes will happen right away in junior football, but shortly after, if they're able to adjust, obviously with facilities and being able to move them back to the back of the end zone, might take a little bit more time than a professional league, but definitely stay tuned to that, Noah, as maybe in 2027, 2028, the goalpost will be at the back of the end zone.
And the end zone moving to 15 yards instead of the 20 that it is right now. So some very interesting changes. I don't know how you feel about them, Cole. I think some of them are a little overdue.
I 100% agree. I think it's a perfect sweet spot, as you mentioned. End zone shrinking from 20 down to 15, right? You don't want to go too small and be NFL. You want to have that nice large end zone that you're kind of known for. And the game itself, the waggle, 12th man, the Canadians playing the 3 downs hasn't been touched. So I feel like I'm pretty happy with the changes, to be honest.
I totally agree with you, Cole. I think the real things that make Canadian football, they're not touching those. Just some things that I really think are long overdue. I've never understood why the goalposts are at the front of the end zone, apart from the fact the end zone's too big to begin with, 20 yards deep. You can throw a fade route from the 1 yard line. So I always thought that was a little ridiculous. My uncle constantly makes fun of it. So here's a pass on the run by Hooper, and down the right sideline, it's complete, and a first down there for Lucas Becking.
Lucas was one of our players to watch once again, a guy that, as I mentioned, just a very selfless fifth-year guy coming to his last ever football game here today. Whether, Coach HK wants to put him in at fullback, running back, he just doesn't and doesn't complain about it, does his job.
So a good play call there. They get him on the roll. And you see here, Cole, blue skies here in Nanaimo District Secondary School. You can't ask for better weather this time of year.
As a Winnipegger, man, how lucky are we? October day, blue skies, a little bit of a crisp in the air, but honestly can't complain, Noah.
Yeah, being a Winnipegger, my mom is in town, actually. She was telling me that it's pretty nice weather in Winnipeg right now. What was it? I think it was 18 degrees the other day in Winnipeg. So pretty good for this time of year on the prairies as the give inside for a short game.
Let's maybe not get too off track, Noah, but hopefully that nice weather can maybe stick around for maybe a future Winnipeg home playoff game if maybe they're lucky enough. Pretty uncertainty with, Calgary, BC right now. Winnipeg kind of fighting and clawing for that number 2 and the right to host a playoff game at home.
Cole, you know what? I think it might be destiny for the Bombers to have to do it the same way they did in 2019. Go on the road to Calgary, win a road playoff game, and then go to Saskatchewan and win another one. Here comes a blitz by the Raiders, and it looks like they may have been offside, or did the right tackle there jump early. We'll wait to see the call, but definitely shaping up to be an interesting playoffs this year, Cole. The Bombers not having the home field that they're accustomed to. The BC Lions, Cole, how are they looking? Are they going to have to go maybe do the crossover business here?
Yeah, I'm honestly pretty disappointed, Noah, that I'm missing this game here today, as the BC Lions and Calgary Stampeders will be kicking off, I believe, at 4 o'clock. The old Vernon Adams returning to BC. Of course, Vernon Adams versus Nathan Rourke, all the storylines. The Lions actually control all their own destiny.
So the Bombers are the team that need help.
Essentially, right? I believe the winner of today's matchup between Calgary and BC will actually take hold of that second place for today. Obviously, with still 3 weeks left in the regular season in the CFL to go, and the Lions actually have a bye week next week.
And Rourke has really gotten hot as of late. He's regained that form from a few years ago.
He has. Matthew Betts as well, 9 sacks in the last 3 games.
That's good to see. He was truly one of the most dominant defensive linemen we've seen in a single season a couple years ago. Here comes a blitz by the Raiders. Hooper hangs in but throws off his back foot again, but is able to complete the ball. And, of course, that is number 13. That's Tyson Galai, and he is down the right sideline and out of bounds there.
Hooper's shaking something off, but that was actually a heck of a throw. As I mentioned, he's been facing quite a bit of pressure all day long, throwing off his back foot more often than not. I believe once again he threw off his back foot with pressure in his face, but a very nice ball to Tyson Galai.
Takes another hit there by the Raiders.
And Tyson is able to catch the ball before the sideline, turn upfield with the infamous NDSS double sideline. I get that comment quite often, whether it's the Instagram posts or commenting on the YouTube.
I have a few buddies from Winnipeg reach out to me as well, Cole, and say, why are there 2 sidelines on this field?
Well, unfortunately, folks, we play American football for whatever reason in high school, so that's why we're currently at NDSS High School here. We're the NDSS Islanders. Shout out to my fellow Islanders. Roll green, baby.
Here comes a blitz right up the middle by the Raiders, but they run right into it. And a nice-looking cut there. That is number 39. That is Pharaoh Hassan with a good-looking run on first down.
Yeah, first year Pharaoh Hassan. If he was able to make that one miss, he might have been able to not many Raiders left in the secondary were able to maybe bring him down. A nice tackle there. I didn't see who the Raider defender was to make it. I believe it was Caleb Thiessen, but nice run there by Hassan.
Watch the cut he makes here in a minute here, Cole. Woo!
That was on Sterling Henry, who was just able to make a shoestring tackle, but the Rams, I know, are very high on their backfield and can go through, 4 or 5 backs with, obviously they have Bruce and Damon and Reggie, Lucas, now Farrow, who's first-year back, actually coach's son, HK, who we were speaking with pregame, running backs coach for the Langley Rams. Got to have a smile on his face when he sees his young boy be able to actually fill his shoes as the second Hassan brother to play for the Langley Rams.
And HK was nice enough to make some toques for every team in the league with his own designs on them. Is that right, Cole?
Yeah, it was correct. I believe a few years ago he came up with kind of an AI-generated alternate logo for all the other, I don't know if it was before PG or not. I don't know if it was 6 teams or 7 teams, and create some toques and whatnot. He actually had you mentioned, Noah, the beautiful baby blue that pops really nicely for the Langley Rams logo that he had made up. He gave me some Raiders ones that maybe I'll pass out after the game to some maybe a young fan, as we see the kind of tradition here at Raiders games, Noah. They play like the touch football during the games. You got to love it.
You can see some of the Southside Dogs there. Shout out to Barsby High School here in Nanaimo and their Pee Wee and junior bantam football programs with the Southside Dogs. They're playing a lot of football down there in the end zone. I coached with the Southside Dogs a couple years ago, Cole, and it's a fun time. It's a good program. So 2nd down and 4, and Hooper is in the shotgun as his crowd gets into it again. You hear the cowbells ringing in the background, and Hooper calls for the snap. Here comes another blitz by the Raiders. Hooper gets hit on the delivery but completes the ball.
Ball's out.
And the ball is out, and it is on the ground, but it's picked up by the Rams. They're able to get on top of it.
Aiden Bytel, man. This kid has been flying around the last few weeks, making tremendous plays week in, week out. I don't know if he punched that out on purpose or if he just came and tried to wrap up the ball carrier there. I believe it was Tyson Galai. But let's see here on the replay.
Good job by Hooper just to get that pass away. There was a free rusher in on him.
I believe Bytel just, on wanting to wrap up the ball carrier there.
Michael Bosch was the closest one to it. Couldn't get on top of it. And here's the give off the right side. And a minimal gain there for the running back. So it'll bring up a 2nd down at about 6.
Hassan in on the carry once again.
I've liked what I've seen from Hassan. He's got some shiftiness to him.
True first-year back as well, so very bright future for him. In a loaded backfield already and getting touches with guys that are 5th, 4th-year guys that are U Sports talented backs as well.
Absolutely. So 2nd down and 6 as the Rams go in their no-huddle offense here. Playing a Hooper in the shotgun. And another blitz coming by the Raiders, and Hooper's going to throw deep down the right side, and it's overthrown. And the Raiders dodge a bullet there. He was open in the back right corner of the end zone.
He was, just overthrew him by maybe a stride or two. And as you mentioned, the Raiders continuing to bring the pressure. As I said, it's kind of been, Sean Arabsky's MO or calling card all season long of how he wants his defense to play. Very aggressive. He trusts his secondary, but even they've started to rotate. I believe I've seen Chris Ciccone into the game at linebacker now, starting to get some of their, starters out of the game. Finstad, and I don't know if I've seen Sterling Henry onto the field on this drive specifically, but as I mentioned, Ciccone into the game, a few other depth options in at linebacker.
They were going after Aiden Bytel there. The fake is on. Pump fake. In trouble, and down he goes. It's Caleb Thiessen with the sack.
It looked like Samir Mogul, who was the guy that was the trigger man on that fake for the Rams and just didn't have anybody downfield, was going through his options, kind of pumped once, pumped twice. At a certain point, he should have probably just tucked the ball and ran and tried to pick up as much as he could.
That's a lonely feeling when you're back there and you got one receiver who's going downfield for a pass and he's not open.
And Samir Mogul, DB by trade, doing his best impression to play
the longest yard there,
yeah.
maybe? Look at Caleb Thiessen coming in there and good wrap up on the quarterback. Well, I guess not the quarterback, but the guy who was going to be throwing the football there. Braden Jupe under center from his own 30-yard line. And the motion man is Mossgrip down the line, and they give it off the right side to Deshaun Jacobs, and he's attacked there by multiple Rams players, but he breaks 2 tackles and gets the ball back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I have no idea how Deshaun – it looked like he made Cade Handy miss, Sean Cullen miss. The whole Langley Rams linebacking core, and point, the names he made miss as well, and Handy and Cullen. 9 times out of 10, they're bringing down the ball carriers.
You see Jacobs laughing pretty hard there. He has not gotten a lot of blocking from the offensive line whenever he's been carrying the ball so far this game, but he's hanging in there and doing his best. So a 2nd down and 10 here for the Raiders. They put Jupe in the shotgun with Jacobs beside him, and Jupe is going to set up a screen to Jacobs. He makes a tough catch, and not an accurate throw there by Braden Jupe.
Yeah, that was a tough one. He had a lot of green grass there on the wide side of the field from our broadcast angle. Noah, as they kind of ran quads to our near side here, sent Jacob out of the backside of the formation, and if he was able to catch that and turn upfield, there would have been a lot of green grass and some blockers ahead of him.
You can see it on the replay here, Cole.
Just kind of awkward one, unfortunately, was in front of Jacobs as he was kind of drifting towards the sideline, had to stop. And
so that will slow the Raiders' momentum initially. Oh, and they're in on McQueen, and I think they might have affected that kick. It's a really short, high kick that's blown dead. I'm not quite sure why it's been blown dead.
Yeah, I'm very curious. McQueen would have had every opportunity to go recover that football. It's not like we're in a stadium here where it hit the Jumbotron or something like that to be whistled dead. Is that actually, familiar with that happening in BC Place now? So I have seen that happen a few times where it hit the Jumbotron, and for whatever reason, safety reasons or whatever they want to justify, they usually blow that play dead. So very curious to see, as we had this conversation as well a few weeks ago when it happened versus West Shore. On those punts, it has to pass the first down marker. That one would have passed the first down marker and would have been McQueen would have been allowed to recover that football.
Well, and I also made Cole McQueen a bet. He's going to be a little pissed off about that one. I told McQueen, if you're ever able to recover your own kick this year, your own punt to get a first down, I'll buy you a hat at Lids. So McQueen a little disappointed there. He didn't get an opportunity to recover that one. Here is Hooper dumping it off on the screen pass. It's complete, and taken down immediately is number 39. That's Farrah Hassan again. So Hassan getting into the action early and often. A screen pass there.
As I mentioned, it really looks like some of the depth pieces from this Raiders defense starting to come into the game.
Declan Robbins on that defensive line, 93.
Yeah. And they're also playing shorthanded off the edge already, right, with Harris leaving the game last week in Chilliwack, no Tanai.
Hooper in the shotgun. And it's a 5-man rush by the Raiders. Hooper has time. He's rolling to his right. Throws deep down the middle. Got a man wide open. And the ball is dropped.
Man, that was a bummer. Rush Henderson, intended receiver there. Tried to reel it in with one hand. Might have been just a tad overthrown. But at the end of the day, it did hit him in the hands. And would have been a tough one to haul in. Would have been a highlight reel catch if he did haul that one in. But the Rams just unable to hit those plays all day long.
All season long, really, you could say.
Absolutely no.
Oh.
Almost dropped right into the bucket, too. Right into the one hand. Softly done, but incomplete pass. And the punting unit, once again, will come onto the field for the Rams.
So the Raiders off to a really good start to this game. They lead it 21-3. And they will get the ball here before the half with a chance to maybe get some more points here. And the punter is in for the Langley Rams, and he calls for the ball, and he's got it and gets the kick away. And it will drive Deshaun Jacobs all the way back there, and the ball rolls past him. And with the wind at his back, a booming kick that goes through.
It's going to be a single.
It is going to be a single.
What a remarkable kick. I'm going to have darn near a 60-yard rouge now.
It's amazing the effects that the wind at your back will have. But
and what do you think about that, too? Like another kind of segue into the rule changes.
Yeah, good point.
Modified rouges that'll happen.
That would not have been a rouge in that case, Cole, because he never touched the ball.
So, things to keep an eye on. I believe that rule change is actually coming next year in the CFL, if I'm not mistaken, the modified rouges. So
here comes Zach Golab in at quarterback.
Looks like he's got the signs from the family in the background there as well, number 15.
I can't keep calm. I'm number 15's mom. So here comes Zach Golab in at quarterback again. The shuffling deck and revolving door at quarterback for the Raiders continues. And Golab in the shotgun. He faces a 4-man rush, and he gives it inside. And Deshaun Jacobs is off to the races. He puts his helmet down and drives through the defender and gets a first down, and this crowd goes nuts.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where you'd love to see Deshaun Jacobs get a few more touches on offense, but how do you kind of justify it over a guy like Rondé Lyle, Parker Wills as well, who Parker Wills over the last month of the season has really come on and been effective back for them, but wanting to ride the hot hand and maybe come playoff time, maybe a Deshaun Jacobs coming into the backfield could be a very key piece of that, bringing that physicality as you see breaking 1, 2, 3, 4 tackles into the secondary. Could be key next week in Okanagan.
Golab in the shotgun, deep drop. They set up the screen to Jacobs again. They're going right back to Deshaun Jacobs, and he takes it down the near sideline for a gain of about 4.
Both teams are just feeding their running backs. Hassan on the other side.
It's screen heaven right now.
Yes, it is. But I love what I'm seeing here from Jacobs. The addition late in the season, kind of the, I don't know if I want to say the luxury, but the losing Izzy Waitman for the season opened up another import roster spot for the Raiders. They were able to pick up Deshaun from, I believe, out of Philadelphia, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct.
Comes into the program here, and obviously coming in late, you're kind of maybe unfamiliar with the playbook still and trying to learn it as quickly as possible. So you get in on special teams, and you're able to be a pretty quick asset on special teams right away for Jacobs, and then start to kind of vie for any of those snaps on offense as well.
There's a penalty on the Raiders, and it's going to back them up with a first down and 20 now. Look at those cleats that Zach Golab is wearing, Cole. I think those are the Tyreek Hill cleats, are they not? The lightning bolt.
Really, hey? T's and P's to Tyreek Hill, obviously a devastating injury there a few weeks, or was that last weekend?
Cole, we're not going to talk about that as a Dolphins fan. I'm done. I'm done with this team. I can't take it anymore.
Who are we tanking for this year?
There is no quarterback in the draft this year, Cole. We picked the perfect year to tank. There's no generational quarterback that can save us. So only as the Miami Dolphins can do. They picked the wrong year to be at their absolute worst. So a handoff up the middle and a gain of about 4 there. It'll set up a second down and 16 coming up here. And Cole, your Buffalo Bills looking good, as usual.
Yeah, I think it's honestly, though, about the Buffalo Bills, it's who cares about the regular season at this point? You got to get over the hump come January, come February, man.
Golab in the shotgun on second down and 16. Blaze McCarty is at the bottom of your screen there. Jake Barker in there as well. And Golab looks down the middle. He steps up, extends the play. He's chased from behind. He throws on the run. He's got Parker Mosgrip open, and Mosgrip makes the catch, and he's close to the first down.
Great job by Golab there. As we know, Noah, rolling to your left, trying to flip your hips to get the ball out, and accurately he does a good job of leading his receiver and giving him an opportunity near the sideline.
Absolutely. So we'll see where they mark it. It's very close to the first down, and they are going to give him the first down. A really nice job there by Golab, extending the play, stepping up and through the pocket. I always love to see that. And keeping his eyes downfield.
Great shot we got there of Golab.
Perfect ball on the run to Mosgrip.
And with Riley McDonald in his face as well, as I mentioned, that being able to flip your hips and get the ball out accurately is a hard thing to do.
Golab shotgun here. Here comes a blitz, and they roll Golab. He's chased by number 7. He throws on the run to Blaze McCarty, and he completes the ball to Blaze McCarty for a gain of about 6.
Great job. Nicely designed play, and I think this is why Parker Mosgrip doesn't get enough credit for the job that he does. Such a weapon downfield, but will just willingly come in and be a blocker as well. Basically, essentially a 6th offensive lineman here. As you can see, key block to get Golab out of the pocket. Gives him a clear lane, able to get the ball out to Blaze McCarty and able to pick up not a first down, but second and manageable situation.
So second down and 4 for Golab. They put him in the shotgun. There's 2 men in the backfield. Mosgrip motions out. Wills comes down the line. They go on 2, and they get the Rams to jump. So a job well done there by young Zach Golab.
Yeah, going to be first down Raiders. The Rams now really starting to turn up the pressure now. You're starting to see Handy and Cullen start to come on an almost regular basis here.
First down Raiders as they look to put some points on the scoreboard here before the end of the half. And you see there, number 0, Sean Cullen, very frustrated that this Raiders passing attack has had their...
They're loading the line of scrimmage.
Oh, man, this is the Engage 8 look here, Cole. but they drop out of it and only rush 3. Golab has all day to throw. He extends the play and rolls back to his right, looking downfield, throws. Really nice play there to Parker Mosgrip. Mosgrip leaps over defender and gets a first down to about the 11-yard line.
Great job by Golab. Didn't see anything as he rolled left, kind of rolled back opposite of the play. Parker was right around the middle of the field, was able to turn around, be an option for him, and pick up another fresh set of downs. Raiders just outside the 10-yard line, knocking on the door of more points here, Noah.
Zach Golub looking very composed. They showed him an all-out pressure look pre-snap, then they drop out of it and only rush 3 and go combo coverage, but he hangs in there and finds the open man. Golab, first down, throwing deep down the right side, looking for Bonsu in the end zone, and it's incomplete. It's knocked down nicely there by the defensive back. That was number 38. That's Lucas Gauthier.
Yeah, another ball at Golab's going to want back for sure. Look like maybe not quite a true 50-50 ball. It's just a tad underthrown. I know we talk about it quite a year or quite a bit all season, though, of the underthrown ball can more often not be a gift for the receiver. It could draw pass interference, all that sort of stuff. But I think that one, Ruben wasn't able to stick his foot in the ground and try to come back to the ball.
I think they just ran out of room there in the end zone. So a second down and 10 from the 12-yard line. Golab in the shotgun. And they're going to run it with Parker Wills, and he's off the right side, and Parker Wills is going to give the Raiders a decision to make here. It's
Close.
Third down and about 1.5 yards.
Yep. I think you're 100% going, especially knowing that you're handing the ball off on second down, kind of setting up that you're going to go for it here on third down.
Parker Wills with a mission accomplished there, getting the Raiders closer to this first down. It's third down and about 2.5.
Timeout on the play, looks like. Or no, injured player down on the field for the Rams. Looks like Cade Handy possibly as well. Key piece for this part of the field, the linebacker for the Rams. Could be mistaken. I don't know if that is number 7. It is.
A shout out to the JLA food truck, Cole. Did you have fries from there last time?
I did. Very good food truck. A popular food truck around the Nanaimo area here. The Harbor City, as you see them out quite often, whether it's the waterfront there right outside the basketball courts downtown. I know they're a popular destination or food choice.
I think I might have to go get some fries at halftime. I'm starting to get a little bit of a hunger on me.
Yes.
Thankfully, my mom's in attendance today. I can send her to get it for me.
Me as well. And especially I'm bummed, Noah, that no barbecue. No, give me a nice barbecued hot dog, glizzy, or a burger.
Stop it, Cole. You're making me too hungry here. So third down and 2, and they throw inside to Bonsu, and he makes the catch. Is he in? Is he in? Yes, he is! Touchdown! Raiders! And the Raiders have taken a 27-3 lead. They're blowing the socks off the Langley Rams goal.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They go back to the exact same play that Ruben scores a touchdown on. I just believe it was Braden Jupe who was the thrower on the other one.
Inside zone fake, throw the slant, and a great catch by Bonsu there, going to the ground on the wobbly throw from Golab.
Queen out to attempt his extra point.
And it is good, and the Raiders have a 28-3 lead over the Langley Rams. So, wow, I haven't seen this much offense, Cole, in an entire year from the VI Raiders.
All season long, this is a tremendous sight to see. If you're Sean Arabsky, if you're a Raiders fan, whatever it may be, they've come out in this game and put together their best offensive performance here through 2 quarters now, as they still have a half of football to add to this impressive outcome here, or impressive outing here so far.
So the Raiders leading 28-3 with 21 seconds to go in the first quarter. And I guess the only mission left is just pin the Langley Rams back deep enough where they just have to take a couple knees and then go into halftime and reassess the situation. This Rams team are really struggling over the last few weeks, Cole.
Yeah, it's been a tough one as they lost West Shore last week by a pretty substantial margin, as you mentioned, to Okanagan the week prior.
I don't know if you saw late in that game against West Shore, Cole, the deep shots they were taking to Zion Brown to try and get him the league record.
They were indeed. I believe he had, 14 receptions, 160, and 5 touchdowns.
5 touchdowns in one game. Here's the return out to about the 48-yard line. So decision time now for the Rams with 13 seconds to go in the first half. Do they keep their foot on the gas pedal and try to get points before the end of the half, or do they take any, what you say, old Cole McGarvey?
I think you got to try to put something together. I know it's really only 13 seconds. 13 seconds really haunts me, but I don't know, no, because the offense really hasn't looked comfortable today as well passing the football. So tough ask with only 13 seconds to go late in the half and wanting to put together at least something here to end the half positively.
It's a shame they don't have Patrick Mahomes at quarterback and
Tyreek Hill running down the field somewhere.
So here's play to Hooper in the shotgun from his own 48-yard line. And there seems to be some confusion. And the play clock is at 0, and it looks like they have taken a delay of game. And the play clock looks like it is working today, Cole. We always like to keep an eye on that.
We do, and it's nice. It's a nice addition when it is working. I'm curious to see, though. This could be the last time we see Polina Hooper here today and for the 2025 season, as I know we were told pregame that Tristan Clark would get a majority of the second half. So could be the last we see of Polina Hooper in 2025 or even in a Rams uniform. We'll see what the future holds for sure.
And kind of a mixed bag, Cole. A lot of missed throws, open receivers downfield. The deep ball accuracy hasn't really been there for Hooper today.
No, and I know you and I, you more so kind of talked me into, Polina Hooper and the idea of him being a better quarterback than I think the conversation usually had around him is. And definitely one that he's had an off day here today, missing a few throws. But when he's on his game, I feel like he gives the Rams the best opportunity out of their current quarterbacks on the roster to pick up wins. And it's been an unfortunate one that he hasn't been able to stay healthy all year and has been fairly banged up.
It'll be interesting to see Tristan Clark, the backup quarterback, in the second half, if that is the way the Rams go. Shotgun snap to Hooper. He pumps and throws, and down the left side, the ball is knocked down nicely there by the Raiders. That's Aiden Bytel, who was in on the coverage. And Hooper Cole, a little bit of chuck and duck there. He just has not looked comfortable in the pocket today.
No, not at all, no. And Aiden Bytel, once again, thrown off his back foot, unfortunately, there for Hooper. And it's kind of one of those things that once you start to get some of that pressure early on in the game, it starts to get in your head, and you can start to kind of, get happy feet or start to see a little bit of ghosts. And not the best half here from Polina Hooper, but we'll see what we see. We'll see what we get from the Rams in the second half in terms of who they send out at quarterback.
There is 10 seconds to go in the first half, and Deshaun Jacobs stands back there and awaits the kick. And are they going to give him an opportunity to return this one? Oh, look out. It goes into the end zone. Jacobs is going to have to try and get this out to preserve the single point. Let's see if he can do it. Oh, he's taken down to the end zone. So that should be a single point awarded to the Langley Rams. And the score here should be, correct me if I'm wrong, Cole, 28-5 because of the two singles by the Rams.
Correct. And I believe it is number 34, Antoine, with quite a leg on him, as I believe he's been credited with two singles here today.
Yeah.
With two absolute missiles of pumps. Hasn't been all him. It's definitely been a lot of the kick and then rolling out, but has done his job here today of flipping the field, and looks like that is going to bring us to halftime here. Noah, what are your thoughts, bud?
Well, I think the Raiders' offense, it's really good to see them get going here in the first half. They haven't had that opportunity all year to really get going in the first half of the game. They've been slow starters. Braden Jupe has looked really sharp, which is encouraging for the Raiders, Cole. The quarterback position, there's been a lot of uncertainty there all year. And to see Zach Golab really make some plays off schedule is really good to see as well. So some tough decisions looming for the Raiders, Cole, at quarterback as they head into their playoff game coming up here against the Okanagan Sun.
Yeah, absolutely, Noah. But interested to see, buddy, as we have two more quarters left in our first season as broadcast partners here, man. It's going to be fun one.
I don't know if I'm going to have much of a voice left after this one, Cole. My signature touchdown Raiders, Cole, hasn't been this used in my entire life as a broadcaster yet. So that will be it for the first half. We are going to send this one to commercial break. We thank you for joining us wherever you might be across this beautiful country of Canada. We will be right back. Stay tuned for more BCFC action coming up. You're watching the BCFC on TELUS.
Do you want a dealership to tackle the banks and get you the lowest rates possible? I know I do. That's why you gotta visit vidrives.ca today to buy a car the easy way. 3 steps and the car's right at your door. Are you tired of other dealerships fumbling your deals? I know I am. Visit Canada's #1 Google rated dealership at vidrives.ca.
Do you want a touchdown to savings and intercept a great deal?
I know I do, with over 600 pre-owned vehicles right here, right now, and 18 lenders. I mean, there's nowhere else to shop.
Okay, team, let's have a great show.
Rank is reflected in positions and names.
I think the team is ingrained in the community here, and it's something that, being part of Vancouver Island Drives and Vancouver Island Raiders, we felt like was a perfect fit. We want to support local teams, local businesses, and we feel like these are the guys to get it done this year. So we're super excited to get involved with the team. So let's go, boys. Let's fire it up. Woo!
Do you want a dealership to tackle the banks and get you the lowest rates possible? I know I do. That's why you gotta visit vidrives.ca today to buy a car the easy way. 3 steps and the car's right at your door. Are you tired of other dealerships fumbling your deals? I know I am. Visit Canada's #1 Google rated dealership at vidrives.ca.
Do you want a touchdown to savings and intercept a great deal?
I know I do, with over 600 pre-owned vehicles right here, right now, and 18 lenders. I mean, there's nowhere else to shop.
Okay, team, let's have a great show.
rank is reflected in positions and names.
I think the team is ingrained in the community here, and it's something that, being part of Vancouver Island Drives and Vancouver Island Raiders, we felt like was a perfect fit. We want to support local teams, local businesses, and we feel like these are the guys to get it done this year. So we're super excited to get involved with the team. So let's go, boys. Let's fire it up. Woo!
Do you want a dealership to tackle the banks and get you the lowest rates possible? I know I do. That's why you gotta visit vidrives.ca today to buy a car the easy way. 3 steps and the car's right at your door.
Are you tired of other dealerships fumbling your deals?
I know I am. Visit Canada's #1 Google rated dealership at vidrives.ca.
Do you want a touchdown to savings and intercept a great deal?
I know I do, with over 600 pre-owned vehicles right here, right now, and 18 lenders. I mean, there's nowhere else to shop.
Did you like when I did that special move beside you? It's like I need to go by, and you're like, I'm literally on now.
They're about to take on at the end of the year.
Do you want to touch?
They haven't been able to find them anywhere.
And we are back here, Cole, and we are all set to go here in the second half of football. An interesting first half. The Raiders offense really exploding on the Langley Rams, and that Raiders offense getting going for the first time all year here in the first half at Nanaimo District Secondary School at Q Stadium. The kickoff by McQueen drives them back to the 20-yard line, and taking up the middle there, it is number 2, that's Dante Meyer, returning the kick.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Noah, a very good half from the VI Raiders offense as they were able to put up 28 points on the board. Speaking from experience, I believe they came into this one with 20 points per game scored. So offensively, they've been hitting on all cylinders. It's been a nice sight to see here. Defensively, they've got to keep doing what they've been doing all season and continue to get stops.
So as we expected, Cole, the backup quarterback Tristan Clark is into the game for the Rams. So that'll be something to keep an eye on here and see how he performs. Clark, the lefty, throwing on first down. It's a wobbly throw out there that's complete to number 81. That's Jake Kirby in at receiver. So some substitutions for the Rams, and the ball is taken ahead for a gain of about 8.
Yeah, both teams starting to make quite a bit of substitutions. Raiders defensively looking like quite a bit of their subs starting to get into their game, the twos. As you mentioned, Tristan Clark now into the game at quarterback for the Langley Rams. We were able to get a look at him pregame on the field, Noah, and we liked what we were seeing, him spinning the ball, the little lefty.
He's got the wind at his back here in the third quarter. Here comes the blitz by the Raiders, and they're running off the left side, and this one will go for a first down. That's number 30. That's Damon Badenhorst, and that's the man you mentioned, Cole.
Yeah, the Rams have had a very nice luxury of having a heap of running backs, whether it's, Reggie or Bruce or Damon. And as we mentioned in the first half, even like what we saw from Hassan running the ball, number 39 as well. So
definitely
kind of a similar one to the Raiders of just wanting to put the ball in the right guy's hands and kind of feeding the hot hand.
Clark in the shotgun here on first down from his own 53-yard line. And the Raiders, they are going to bring a 5-man rush, and Clark will throw a screen out here. It's a better looking throw than the first one. And down the right side, it's going to go for a first down. He's taken down there. That is number 81. That is Jake Kirby again, Cole.
Yeah, this Rams offense just came out in rhythm here with Clark spinning it. And I like what they've seen from the play calling here for the first drive, getting easy completions for Clark in his first drive into the game, running the ball as well. So see, the Rams can start out with some positivity here. And
Clark is a guy, Cole, that was pretty highly touted coming out of high school, eh?
Yes, out of Mission Secondary, if I'm not mistaken, a guy that was pretty sought after, and he ends up finding a home with the Langley Rams as well.
So a first down now, and Clark in the shotgun, and he gives it off that left side, and running ahead there is number 30, Damon Badenhorst, and he's carrying defenders with him, and he's close to that first down, and he's got it.
Yeah, I really like what I've seen from Badenhorst. I think it's kind of, I don't know if the right wording is unfortunate. They just have so many mouths to feed, and when you have a guy like Bruce Jones, who's arguably one of the best running backs in the conference, a guy like Reggie Ellie as well, and even Damon in his own right, and it's kind of hard to try to juggle all the guys getting their own touches, and of course in the CFL game, right now only having 2 downs, you don't get a productive carry on first down. It's kind of hard to lean on the run game there on second down, and carries can kind of be hard to come by for sure. So they have a very big luxury in their backfield, and I believe none of the guys are also fifth-year back, so they could have the potential to be coming back, but I would imagine with the U Sports interest, some of these guys could be suiting up in maybe the Canada West next year or somewhere else in U Sports.
As do the Raiders, Cole. They have a very good luxury in the backfield of Parker Wills, Rondé Lyle, and, of course, Deshaun Jacobs, the newcomer. With the departure of Israel Waitman, Jacobs is the new American in the lineup wearing Israel's old number 7. So here is Clark in the shotgun on first down, and here comes an all-out blitz from the Raiders. They roll him to his left, and it's an ugly-looking throw that's behind the receiver. You expect the lefty to be more comfortable rolling to his left there, April.
Yeah, absolutely. Much easier throw for the lefty, but unable to hit his intended target there, and it's going to be a second down, or excuse me, a third and short situation.
So they didn't pick up the first down there. The referee in the back there signaled first down. They did not give it to him. So a third down and short coming up for the Langley Rams. It's third down and about a yard. They put Clark under center here, 2 men in the backfield, and Badenhurst is the running back who you'd expect to get the call here. And they will go to Badenhurst up the middle, and it looks like he's got that first down for the Rams.
The Rams now, as you mentioned with the Raiders offensive line, looks like they're going to start to feel some of the injury bug. Looks like KP down on the field. They already came into this game without Jordan Sy, and this one.
First down at the 31-yard line. And Clark looks like he's going to go up under center again. 2 men in the backfield for the Rams. And 6 along that offensive line. The tight end is on the left side of the line of scrimmage there. And they motion down the line, and they fake it, and they roll Clark to his left, and he throws on the run. It's tipped but complete. And down the left side there is number 24. That's Lucas Becking with the catch. And he's still going all the way inside the 15-yard line of the Raiders. A nice-looking bootleg there from the Rams, Cole.
Nice job by Becking. Lucas playing in his last ball game ever. He feels the urgency, man. I'm going to keep running and trying to get into the end zone as best as I can and carrying defenders to pick up as many yards as he can there.
He's got that fullback body.
He does. As I mentioned, by position, fullback, but play running back, can do it all.
Oh, it was tipped by Kaya Saunders initially.
Catches the ball out of the backfield. How many fullbacks are doing that? Actually, I got to give a shout out to my fullback back in the day, Taylor Becker. I know he would have very big weapon coming out of the backfield.
And who's that fullback for the BC Lions, Cole, who lines up under center sometimes and quarterback sneaks it?
Oh, Mackey last year, but Riley Pickett's another weapon that's fullback for the Lions.
So there's some confusion in the backfield. Clark is able to eventually give it to him for a suicide handoff, and nothing going on there for the Rams in the middle of that Raiders defense.
Yeah, it looked like the Rams were trying to draw up something, trying to scheme up something tricky potentially, or a misdirection play there, and looked like just a miscommunication, whether the running back went on the wrong side or the quarterback was on fault there.
So second down at about the 10-yard line, and it is goal to go for the Rams. So an opportunity here for young Tristan Clark to maybe throw his first CJFL touchdown. And Clark in the gun. There's pressure on him by the Raiders. He rolls to his left and throws on the run and completes the ball. And look out, he's down near the goal line, and he is in for the touchdown. That is Natol Tedeschi.
Yeah, and this Rams sideline is fired up to see it. Natol Tedeschi, 5th year Natol Tedeschi, number 17, playing in his last career game here at NSSQ Stadium, getting in the paint. You'll love to see it, and you can see his team rally around him and be quite excited. Got to be a team player in that locker room, and the boys are fired up to see him get in the end zone there.
So a good response by the Rams. They are showing some fight. There's no quitting this team, and congratulations to Tristan Clark. That is his first, at least in my recollection, first CJFL touchdown pass. I don't know, Cole, maybe you can correct me. Maybe he had one in Okanagan when he played in that game.
I can't remember or not, but as you can see, Tedeschi fired up to get back into the box there and get in the end zone, give his team the first touchdown on the board here today from NDSSQ Stadium.
So they are going to go for 2 here, as you see Tedeschi fired up there after the touchdown, trying to make it a 28-13 ball game. Clark fires over the middle, and it's over the head of the intended receiver, and the Rams will only have to settle for 6. So 28-11, and a good response by the Rams there coming out of the locker room.
Yeah, great response from the Langley Rams there to put up some points on their first drive of the second half. Now for the Vancouver Island Raiders, you're going to want to get back on track here, get your offense moving in rhythm, start to get the ball headed in the right direction, and don't have to necessarily come away with a touchdown here, but maybe even to get into field goal position or even to flip the field, I think is ideal here. But the Rams start the second half here with a little bit of life to get on the board with a Tedeschi touchdown from Clark.
So the Raiders will put 2 returners back there to catch this one. One is Jacob Celso at the top there, and the other is Cameron Stoberg. And Stoberg is a dangerous man. He's a guy the Raiders are really high on. And it will be for the Rams. It's number 87, Sarthak Dosanjh, to boot this one deep. DeSange puts his leg into it and drives the ball down there to Cameron Stoberg. And here comes Stoberg down the left side. Stoberg drops the ball. Oh my goodness, what just happened, Cole?
They try to reverse. They try to get a little bit tricky with it. As you can see, Cameron and Deshaun talking it out, the miscommunication there, and it looked like it was just too casual by Cameron.
Very casual.
That I don't know why. As I mentioned, special teams coordinator Tarek Bryan is not afraid to get into his bag a little bit and call some tricks or call some fakes. And as we can see here on the replay, look, you can see Deshaun coming back towards the ball here, but just too casual in my mind.
Stoberg running. Oh, he did try and flip it to Jacobs, and he was unable to get a handle on it.
I don't like that he tried to flip it with his right hand as well. I think it would have been much easier with his left hand or even a simple handoff, but
the Rams have life here, Cole.
A lot of life here, Noah. The TSN turning point, if this game gets close, Noah, it's that one to remember for sure, is the reverse that went wrong for the Raiders here. Clark comes into the game for the Rams. He showed quite a bit of, much more comfortable in the passing game than Plano Hooper looked in the first half. He's able to find completions here left, right, and center on that first drive. So let's see if he can continue to do it and get it done through the air, because obviously we know what they have through the ground with Baden Horace. Even Hassan coming into the game can run the ball, but can they do it through the air and move the chains that way as well?
No doubt about it. The Rams are right back in this one after the touchdown to start the second half. They now have the ball deep in Raiders territory after the special teams blunder, and the Raiders have got to be a little shaken up here that this is happening.
Especially with, you kind of get into that mindset of maybe if you're the starters, right? You come into the game, you start to maybe, not have your head fully into the game, and could be a costly one, as you mentioned. Well, this one getting closer. If they were able to have that 2-point conversion, this could be a one-score game.
No doubt about it. So the Rams have life, and here is Clark looking, firing over the middle. The pass is caught, and into the end zone for a touchdown goes number 17, the money man, Natol Tedeschi.
As I mentioned with Lucas Becking, number 24, he feels that it's his last football game ever. Tedeschi doing his best impression to end his career on a very high note. Second touchdown of the second half here, and he's loving having Tristan Clark come into the game and starting to throw him the ball. And what a game, what a turning point we have here, Noah.
Big time. We'll see if they're going to go for 2 to try and make it 19 points. It looks like they are just going to attempt the extra point, but Tedeschi getting into the end zone for his second touchdown of the day, and he's fired up for the Rams.
That might have been Tedeschi's second touchdown in the last 2 minutes of game time. It was, not might.
So here we go, the extra point coming, and this game could get interesting pretty quickly. The rush is on off the left side. It looks like he was way offside.
Yeah, it's going to be 26, Marcus Harvey. He was offside on the play on that one. But Noah, what a TSN turning point we could have here. If the Raiders aren't able to grab hold of momentum right now, the Rams are most definitely in control of this one here to start the second half.
Very interesting turn of events to start the second half. This game just got interesting, and Cole, did he make that extra point?
I believe he did, as the penalty was declined. It was offside Raiders. I can't see the scoreboard's just right out of my way.
So it should be 28-28, you would think now. Or sorry, 28-18.
18, so 10-point ball game, Noah. This is one that, as I said, with the Raiders, right, you start to maybe get some of your twos in there. If you're the stars, you start to maybe check out a little bit, and there's no kind of flipping that switch back on, because the Rams have definitely hit that switch, and they're starting to hit on all cylinders here to start 5 minutes of game time, Noah, in the second half. We still have 25 minutes here in the second half, and it's 10-point ball game. Let's see what happens here in the third quarter.
So the Rams set to kick off. Jacob Celso is back there to return. And Harmon Ahuja is in the game now, too, back there. 28-18 is the score. We have a 10-point ball game, Cole. And they are going to kick it to Ahuja, who, oh my goodness, it goes off his hands into the end zone. Ahuja's able to pick it up, and he's got to get this thing out of the end zone now. And he does, but the Raiders are back way up in their own field position here at about the 5-yard line. So the special teams of the Raiders having difficulties to start the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a third of the game, special teams. You can't afford to have mistakes like this, and unfortunately for Harm, he's seen this one before. Bobbles the return. Fortunately enough for the Raiders, he was able to get it out of the end zone, not give up the single rouge there. But tough start here in the second half for the Raiders here, Noah.
Zach Golab in at quarterback now, in the shotgun, takes the snap, and he throws the shallow cross, and it's complete to Ruben Bonsu, but not much going on there. A gain of about 2.
Yeah, Ben Lauren on the tackle there. Linebacker for the Langley Rams. Able to snuff that one out before Ruben Bonzi was able to turn upfield for too much of a gain. Going to be what looks to be about 2nd and 6, 2nd and 7 here for the Raiders. Very manageable situation here. Most definitely want to try to pick up a first down here, Noah.
Golab in the shotgun as this Rams defense gets the defense chance started. The throw by Golab, and what a catch it is. And that is Jake Barker, who's able to make a big catch there for the Raiders. They did not want to punt that ball back to the Rams deep in their own territory.
Tremendous catch there by Jake Barker. Was not an easy one as well. Not right on his body, but able to bring it in and give his team a fresh set of downs as we blocked out. Is that the goal line pad? Parker Wills.
Wills on the carry.
Sean Cullen all over that one. He's fired up. He was able to meet Parker Wills before he got going. Sean Cullen as well, holding himself together with duct tape here in week number 12. Heart and soul of this Rams defense. Tremendous tackle there by Cullen. Shoestring tackle, able to hold on to Wills. 2nd and long situation here.
The Rams have all the momentum. It's 28-18, and they got the Raiders in 2nd and long here. Here's Golab in the shotgun. He calls for the ball, and there's flags down. And Cole, you saw early movement. Was it on the Rams or the Raiders?
I believe it's going to be on number 64 for the Raiders, if I'm not mistaken, as they are backing up. Chase Brennan.
So very interesting there. The Raiders, they got to be careful here. The Rams have all the momentum with their backup quarterback in the game. The Raiders got off to such a good start to the first half of this game. They had the lead at halftime, big time. But this is a position the Raiders haven't been in for quite some time, having that big of a lead at halftime. We'll see how they adjust in the second half. Wills empties the backfield, and they throw it to Wills. And Parker Wills down the left side, but he's tackled short of the first down. And so the Rams should get very good starting field position here, and they're going to have a chance to cut this lead even shorter.
Yeah, number 31, Samir Mogul in on the tackle there for the Rams. Essentially a running back screen for all purposes for the fans behind the scenes of swing pass out to the running back, have the 3 receivers in front of him blocking it already and try to get the ball in his hands to get upfield. But the Rams were all over that one, and Parker Wills is going to get taken down. And the Rams, Noah, down 10. A lot of time left in this ball game.
They're in on McQueen. Look out! But the Raiders are going to draw the roughing the kicker call, as unfortunately for the Rams there, they were trying to get in on the punt. They missed the ball, hit the punter, and that should give the Raiders a new set of downs.
Ooh, and the chain crew is moving, and the referees are not too happy with them. That's a devastating one for the Langley Rams. I understand you're trying to sell out and get a block punt there, but got to understand the time and place in the game here. Understand you're getting the ball back.
A devastating penalty for the Rams, as it's going to give the Raiders offense a new set of downs and a first down at the 26-yard line. So the Raiders fans are happy about that one. It's a good crowd here, Cole, for really what is a game that has no playoff implications whatsoever. Just senior night here in Nanaimo and a good turnout by the home crowd, Raider Nation. Shotgun Golab gets the snap, rolls to his right, sets up, throws to the wide side, and what a throw it is, over top of the defender and pulled in by Blaze McCarty.
Tremendous catch by Blaze McCarty near the sideline as well. Looked like the defender tried to undercut it. I believe that's Drew Cushway, I believe number 20. Golab, though, just put it in a remarkable spot. It was his guy or out of bounds. The confidence there for Golab to rip it. As you can see, Cushway, tight coverage, tries to undercut it as well, and he gives his guy a remarkable pass right on the money.
Beautiful throw by Golab. They're going to let him throw again here. He's got time. He steps up in the pocket, rolls to his left, looks downfield. He's got McCarty open. The ball's underthrown. McCarty adjusts, but it is out of bounds.
We talked about this before, Noah, when Golab started against PG about a month or 6 weeks ago. Not wanting to really say that Golab really has it. I feel like that's kind of too far, but shows that comfortability in the pocket. Very poised for a young fella, 18 years old, fresh out of high school, and to go through it, having some pressure in his face and not really to flinch like that and to get the ball out is something that's impressed me so far in the limited action we've seen from Golab.
So second down after the first down incompletion, and Golab is in the shotgun with Deshaun Jacobs behind him. He bumps into Jacobs. There's pressure on Golab. He's got to throw this one away. And so job well done by the Rams defense. They get off the field here.
That get back to the line of scrimmage too.
Ooh, and Golab is limping off the field.
Yeah, that's going to be intentional grounding. No, it didn't get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, good call there, Cole.
But as you mentioned, probably the bigger thing to pay attention to, Golab is limping off the field. No, as you mentioned. Yeah, it looked like maybe he just kind of tweaked something there. Soft tissue, never anything to mess around with, whether it's, a hammy or, yeah, it almost looks like it's maybe a groin or a hammy or something like that.
So McQueen in a punt it here from his own 25-yard line. He stands back at his own 11 and waits for the ball from Max Shipham. McQueen calls for the ball. He's got it. He gets it away, and it's a short kick against the wind that bounces around there and is eventually picked up by the Rams. And they're in on him, and 3 Raiders there make the tackle. Great downfield coverage by the Raiders.
Going to be in a little bit of unfamiliar territory here, Noah, as yeah, this Raiders defense has been the heart and soul of this team all season long, but it isn't some of the familiar faces we've seen all year long, right? We're starting to get in some of these depth pieces now. The twos starting to be into the game, whether it's, the twos at linebacker and some of the starters in the secondary still, and maybe some of the backups along the defensive line, but we're definitely seeing some of these guys starting to get mixed in here, and going to be an interesting one. Now their backs against the wall here and trying to get some stops.
The Raiders defense, pressure on. They are leading by 10 points. Their lead has been cut significantly, but thankfully the penalty was on the Rams, so it'll back them up to their own 41-yard line, and that is where this drive will begin. For young Tristan Clark in at quarterback, he looked good on the first 2 drives. He's got 2 touchdown passes in this half of football. Really cool, 2 touchdown passes in maybe 5 minutes of football. Clark dropping back, sets up the screen, and it's way over the head of the intended receiver.
Yeah, that was his first miss of the day for sure. One that you can't afford to miss as well on a screen pass like that. I think Bruce Jones, without really seeing what was behind him, would have been able to turn up field and pick up a good chunk of yards there.
So second down for the Rams. Clark is in the shotgun from his own 41. And it looks like an offside on the receiver at the bottom there, but they don't call it. Clark stepping up, running up the middle, and he's taken down there by the Raiders. It's number 40, but of course on our roster sheet, Cole, number 40 is Malik Harris.
Yeah, and T's and P's once again to Malik Harris, as he suffered, I believe, an ankle dislocation in Valley last weekend. But tough kid, man. Didn't even go to the hospital or anything. Was on the sideline for the whole second half of the game to celebrate a nice big victory, a clinching victory as well.
A really big win by the Raiders last week indeed, as they were able to secure their spot in the playoffs. And Cole, this is the first trip to the playoffs for the Raiders since
2021, Noah.
Wow.
So remarkable. And they're only in the second season of head coaches, only in the second season of Coach Rabsky's tenure here, as well as he took over in the back half of that 2023 season.
Pretty cool stuff. The Raiders going from 0-10 to the playoffs. A high snap for the punter, but he's able to get the ball away. And Jacob Celso awaits it, picks it up, runs up the middle. Here goes Celso. Look out, he's on the run. And if not for running into one guy there, he may have sprung that one. But a good return by Celso up to the 37-yard line, and that is where the Raiders offense will go to work. We'll see who comes in at quarterback here for the Raiders.
Looks like it's Braden Jupe, but one thing I got to get in there is I know you love the saying of, heart doesn't measure height, no, or
height doesn't measure heart, yeah.
Of Jacob Celso, but man, he hits those returns with just fearlessness, man. There's no fear with him. If he finds a hole or a lane and he's hitting it full speed, doesn't half step or hesitate whatsoever. And for a rookie like that, it's something I love to see.
He's one of my favorite players to watch on the Raiders. He's one of the most exciting players on the Raiders. Just
when the ball's in his hand, it's like on any given play, no.
You never know. He's just plays with so much heart, and there's no fear from Jacob Celso. So the the referees are gonna have a little discussion here and see where they want to place the ball. There was a penalty flag on the play, and it looks like it's going to be pushed up about 10 yards there. And the ball is out past the 45 to the 48-yard line, and that is where the Raiders offense will go to work. Braden Jupe in at quarterback here. Now, we're not sure whether that's just part of the script of Jupe coming in or if Golab is injured, so we'll wait to check on that. Jupe under center, giving it off to Parker Wills off the right side, and nothing doing there, no gain for Wills.
Nope, nothing doing there for Parker Wills. Definitely curious to see as I'm trying to look for Golab bars. I do see him down on that far sideline. Doesn't look like he's giving any attention from the trainers or talking with them, so hopefully something that's just a part of the game script here, and they're rolling with Braden Jupe for kind of that 2 series on, 2 series off type of thing.
Jupe lining up under center again on second down here. Mossgrip is in the backfield. Wills is behind him. And they'll go right back to Parker Wills. And Wills with a good-looking run and a spin move, and he's got the first down. First down, Raiders.
Nice moves from Parker Wills there to evade a couple defenders and pick up the first down. A well-needed first down for the Raiders team as well. On the Rams side of the field here for the first time in the second half.
So first down at the 49-yard line. And Jupe, again, lining up under center here. The Raiders, Cole, we've talked this before, they run more under center than other teams in the CJFL, which I do like. I think there's got to be a certain level of just get under there and pound it down their throats. Here's Jupe on the roll, and he throws, and it's out of bounds. And so a second down coming up for the Raiders.
I also think it's a little bit of that kind of, you hear it more often in the NFL of, college football, the pro style offense, right? Getting under center, being comfortable in that. Of, you hear in these big time Power 5 schools of, the Jackson Dart clip obviously is famous of the show me your cadence or your snap count, kid, and he ends up clapping, right? Because it's a different game in college to the NFL, right? And sometimes you're not, maybe if you're in college, you're never under center for your 4-year, 5-year career, right? So getting under center, I think, is helpful for the offense, sets up play action, all that sort of stuff.
For sure. One thing I definitely like about Jake LeBerge's offense is he's got a real cadence. There's no hand clapping here with the VI Raiders. Shotgun snap to Jupe, throws the shallow cross to Celso, and it's just a little wide to Celso. He's unable to haul it in. And so it'll be third down coming up for the Raiders, and the punt team will come onto the field.
Rams defense got to be happy with that. They bended, but they didn't break ultimately. Gave up a couple first downs, but they're going to get off the field. And then game within balance here, Noah. Still a 10-point game. About 17 minutes to go with game time clock.
So plenty of time for the Rams to maybe try and get back into this one. Cole McQueen is in to punt it. Pressure on him again, but he gets the ball away, and this one's a good one. And it should, oh no, that wind just absolutely made it die, and it's picked up there by the Rams, and they'll get the 5-yard, no yards tacked on top of it.
Going to get Tristan Clark's 4th drive of the game. His first 2 drives of the game were really nice, or at least the first one. As the second one, he was able to take advantage of the short field position. The third one, not so much, as they were a quick 2-and-out, I believe, or Might have been a first down or two, then a punt. Let's see what Clark has here on the fourth drive of the game in the second half and showing a little bit of promise here for the future, as I know that's kind of what they wanted to get a glimpse of Clark here today.
Always good in these games where you're already eliminated from playoffs to get your backup into the game and see what you have, see what you can do. Clark in the shotgun, multiple men in motion. They give it off there, and not much going on. Tackle made there by the Raiders.
And I know we've chatted about it at length here today with, no Tonight Wisdom, no Malik Harris, without also Quantarius Lusk here today. That's a pretty big loss for the Raiders. They believe more precautionary. He should be ready to go for next week's game up in Okanagan, but another pretty significant loss, especially against the run defense.
For sure. You'd expect the Rams to maybe have ran it right at the Raiders defense a little more than they have today. They're going to throw a screen out here, and it's complete, and it's going to go for a first down the right sideline. That is number 80. That's Cam Neal, Cole.
Nice shot by the Rams offense there, scheming someone up to get the ball in one of their playmakers' hands. Some blocks set in front of them, and they're able to set it up for a first down Rams just on their side of midfield.
Rams on the move. Very interesting. They are down by 10, and they are trying to claw their way back into this one. What a comeback this would be for the Rams. They were down 28-5 at one point. Here's a screen set up, and it's to Damon Badenhorst, and he's up the middle, and he's got another good gain for the Rams, a pickup of about 8.
Yeah, what a job by Damon Badenhorst making that into, I don't know if they're going to give him a first down, but at least into a positive gain, as it looked like he was maybe going to be met just past the line of scrimmage. He was able to put his foot in the ground, cut back immediately, and looks like we're going to have a second and short situation, I believe. Second and 2.5, 3 yards on the play. But great job by Badenhorst keeping those feet moving. He looks like he's beat up. He's had himself a long season, and you can see tough carries.
Second down and 2, and you expect them to run it right at that Raider defense, and they're going to give it to the fullback in the middle there, and that is number 24, Lucas Becking, and he carries for a first down.
And Badenhorst is actually on one knee. After that one, as I mentioned, we got a little bit of a close-up of him in on the huddle. You can see him grimacing in pain. Honestly, give me some more Hassan. I like what I saw from Hassan there in the first half. Nothing against Badenhorst, as Badenhorst has been the same old workhorse he's been all year for the Rams. But Bruce Jones, it looks like for the most part, is kind of and I know Bruce Jones, this is nothing against him, looks like pretty much he's kind of done for the day, as he looks kind of somewhat checked out here on the Rams sideline. Wanted to get a look at some of their younger options. No Ellie here today as well. As I mentioned, it is Hassan, Pharaoh Hassan, going into the game for the Rams at running back.
Hassan has looked good for the Rams.
He has. True first-year kid as well. HK, forgive me, I believe out of Langley Secondary School, if I'm not mistaken. Could be a name we hear in the Rams program for years to come, as I mentioned, first-year guy, earning some reps with a loaded backfield.
So he's able to make his way off the field under his own power, is Badenhorst.
What a back he is, hey? He looks just like a true workhorse power back.
Getting a hug there from his coach and daps up from his players. They appreciate the effort that he's given this Langley Rams program. So we enter the fourth quarter of play here, Cole. The Rams trying to claw their way back into this one. Play action. Clark looking, rolling, throwing, got a man open down the sideline, and the catch is made. What a catch it is. It's number 86. That's Rush Henderson with the catch.
Henderson's been one of the more favored targets for the young Tristan Clark here today, as he's found him a few times here in the second half. Like what have we seen here from Tristan Clark here?
I would agree with you.
A quarter of action here, no?
No doubt about it. He's looked very good in relief of the starter.
Obviously a little bit of an easier one going to his left as the left-handed quarterback, but gave his receiver every opportunity to come down with that football. And the Rams are knocking on the door here, the red zone.
Here is Clark in the shotgun as they enter close to the VI Raiders red zone. Play action, and they're going to throw a screen out there to number 80, and he trips. Oh, my goodness.
That's a tough one as you look to have a play that maybe behind the line of scrimmage you hope to turn into a big play. They end up losing yards on that one. How far is it going to be? It looks to be a 2nd and 16, 17. No, that's a devastating one.
Not where you want to be if you're a vertically challenged offense like the Langley Rams. So 2nd down and 16. And this is going to be a tough one for Clark if he's able to convert this one. 5 receivers out in the pattern. They empty the backfield with a running back coming out there. Here comes the blitz by the Raiders. He throws over the middle, wide open, and a huge hit by Aiden Bytel. But the catch is made by number 17, Natol Tedeschi. He's been the go-to guy today.
Yeah, it's Tedeschi's last career game, or possibly, I shouldn't speak for him, but last career game in a Langley Rams uniform. He's going to take that hit and keep on ticking. As Aiden Bytel basted him on that one, though, but Tedeschi's been running all over the field wide open in coverage, you'd think.
A little bit of a suicide ball there by the quarterback.
A little bit for sure.
So 1st down as they enter the red zone. And Clark is up under center. The Raiders show blitz. They're going to bring it. They're going to roll Clark out to his right. He throws on the run. Oh, goodness, Cole. It was 3rd down. I thought for some reason he got the 1st down on that pass completion.
See Tyson Galai, quite frustrated. I think Tristan just kind of rushed that one. I want to maybe see it again on the replay as the ball came out quite quick. Looked like a little bit of a play action.
There was a big blitz on by the Raiders, but I think you're right, Cole. I think he could have outrun the defensive end there.
Yeah, Tyson quite upset.
They had the right call on.
They did. Tyson got some separation from his defender as well.
So it is still Jupe in at quarterback. Golab not in the game still. Jupe rolling, sets up, throws way downfield, and overthrows everybody.
Hopefully he meant to just throw that one away. Nobody really in the area. No Raiders receiver in the area, excuse me. No harm, no foul, though, as it made it past the line of scrimmage by quite a bit. So we're going to have 2nd down here, Noah.
So 2nd down and 10, 28-18 is the score. 12 minutes and change to play in the 4th quarter. Braden Jupe lining up in the shotgun here with Parker Wills behind him. No more Deshaun Jacobs of the last few series. Wills empties the backfield, and they drop Jupe straight back to throw. He fires down the middle to Harmon Ahuja, and he overthrows him.
Yep, 2 and out for the Raiders. One you just unfortunate to see. Like to see their offense stay on the field, try to pick up a 1st down or 2 to give their defense a bit of a break. But here we go, no. 28-18, 12 minutes to go from NDSSQ Stadium.
We'll see if the Rams are able to narrow the deficit here. McQueen in to punt it. Good protection. He gets away a great kick. It's taken there by number 2. That is Dante Meyer, and he's down the left side, and Meyer will take the ball deep into Raiders territory around the 40-yard line.
Yeah, for the Langley Rams here, this is one part of the field you must capitalize on the great field position to start your drive. You're hoping you're going to come away with 6 points here. Raiders defense, let's see what they've been able to do a good job, I think. No, I know it's been tough that the Raiders, Sean Routey watching film maybe tomorrow or Monday that they've seen the Rams kind of march up and down the field, but they've done a good job of bending and not breaking to give up many points.
A lot of backup players in there on the defense as well. Cole definitely contributes to that, you would think.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Clark will line up under center. 2 men in the backfield, gives the signal. The tight end motions out there. They drop Clark straight back to throw. He fires down the right side, and the pass is hauled in. A nice touch pass there from Clark as he leads him out towards the sideline.
Yeah, almost a similar concept or play drawn up there, but on the previous 3rd down, Tyson running a quick out with a corner up top, and he's able to give the receiver an opportunity to turn up for a 1st down. And Rams now just cross over to the 30-yard line. So whether it's 7 points or 3 points to make it a 1-possession game here, Noah, got to come away with points for the Langley Rams here on offense.
Got to come away with points. Even if it's a field goal, you cannot not get points on this drive.
We chatted about that importance last week or 2 weeks ago when West Shore decided not to, Noah.
That's a good point. Even if they have to take the 3, it would still make it a one-score game. Here's the run off the left side with number 45. That is Joshua Van Knapp. So the first time we've seen him get the ball today, number 45 for the Langley Rams.
This might be the 4th or 5th string running back on their depth chart as well. So just going through their backs like crazy here. Love to see the confidence in it there. Where I'd love to see Hassan back into the game.
Yeah, I really liked what I saw from him.
He's down here on the near sideline with Bruce Jones. I see Damon Badenhorst as well. Even Sean Becking, I don't see him on the sideline as well.
28-18, second down, and the biggest one of the game for the Rams. Here comes the blitz by the Raiders. Clark has time. He's going to run. Stiff arm, but he's taken down there by the Raiders, and it'll bring up a third down, and now it's decision time for the Rams. Are you close enough to try this field goal?
Yeah, was that Davin? I didn't see who was in on the tackle there. Was that number 41 who was in on the tackle for the Raiders?
I believe so.
Clark didn't like anything downfield, so he just decided to tuck it and run last second.
Let's see if they're going to attempt this field goal. This will be a long one, about 35 yards.
Yeah, he's got the kick plate out there, Noah, so looks like he is going to attempt it.
They're going to put Celso back in the end zone to maybe return this one if it's missed.
Wind going against him as well, I believe.
Wind directly in his face. This is going to be a very tough kick.
You can't see it on the far side of the field, but there is a brisk breeze here today, folks.
This is Sarthak Desange to kick this one from 35 yards away. And it's not even close. And it's going to be returned by Jacob Celso. Celso down the right side. Look out. Here comes Celso. He's to the 20. Celso to the 25 and knocked out of bounds there. And a good return by Jacob Celso gives the Raiders pretty good field position.
Great return there by Jacob Celso. Didn't quite flip the field, but basically took over possession of the football right where the Rams had possession there. So remarkable job by Jacob Celso, not only to get it out of the end zone, but to give his team, and that one didn't have a chance, whether he didn't strike it correctly or whatever happened there.
What a fun player Celso is to watch, Cole.
He is. And a first-year kid, this guy is only getting better and better, and we have another ceiling or two maybe to see from Jacob Celso.
Jupe in the shotgun, first down, blitz, throw, screen out here, and it's complete to Blaze McCarty, and he takes it close to a first down.
No, well, we got the chance. I think we got to give a big shout out to our production team at Roll Focus, who's helped us out all season long. We got Chris, we got Morgan. Who else? We got Hamish, our stat guys as well. Camera operators, not only on the field, but up here in the booth.
Taylor back in Victoria.
Tyler,
sorry.
Tyler,
yeah.
who's in our ear. Morgan, as I mentioned, in our ear. Big shout out to them. They've done a fantastic job helping us in our debut broadcast season. Jupe going deep down the field.
And they get the penalty call. There we go. Cameron Stoberg able to draw it.
Late call by the referee in the middle of the field. The referee near the sideline didn't throw it, but I definitely did see it looked like a hand maybe in the collar there of Cameron holding him. But in my opinion, I thought the ball might have even been uncatchable. But
completely uncatchable.
Yeah. Don't think many Raiders fans are going to be complaining too much about that one.
Not too much. And it's also only a 15-yard penalty, so it doesn't hurt you quite as much as the spot foul in the United States.
But yeah, I think right there, yeah, he does. And the referee, I guess, is maybe blocked out by Cameron's actually back being to him, where the referee in the middle of the field was able to catch that one.
We'll see if the Raiders take another shot to Stoberg here. He's down at the field on the wide side of the bottom of your screen. Harmon Ahuja is in the game. Shotgun Jupe, snap to him. And they'll give it inside, and it's Deshaun Jacobs into the secondary. Deshaun Jacobs still going. Jacobs taken down inside the 35-yard line. A nice run there by Deshaun Jacobs.
Man, is it going to be hard to kind of justify, but I would love to see this kid get some more touches next week up in Okanagan. The physicality that he runs with, and I feel like that adds another kind of asset to your game next week. With obviously Ronda Lyles kind of ran very physical this year, but Deshaun brings a presence to him for sure.
Yeah, there's something extra there with Deshaun Jacobs. So first down at the 34-yard line. Jupe in the shotgun, Jacobs behind him, and we'll see if they go right back to Jacobs. They fake it to Jacobs. They throw a screen out here to Blaze McCarty, and he takes it ahead for a gain of about 4.
I think these plays, when maybe taking a look ahead here, not wanting to do too much of a look ahead, but next week where, versus the Okanagan Sun, I think, these type of plays will be fine and help you in maybe staying in the game or winning the game, but I feel like down the field is where you're going to have to kind of, pose that you have a threat going deep down the field. And if the Okanagan Sun is pinning their ears back on your run game and your short passing game, I feel like it might be a long afternoon.
It definitely could. So, second down for the Raiders. The ball is at the 24-yard line. Here comes a blitz. They fake it. Jupe throws the screen, and it's complete to Mossgrip, and he's down the left side and finally taken down inside the 10-yard line. It'll be first down and goal to go for the Raiders.
Nearing the end zone here, this could be the final nail in the coffin of the Langley Rams. If the Raiders are able to pick up any sort of points here, Raiders really have the Rams second-guessing themselves and off balance right now as they're going to the run game. They're getting in a little bit of play action there. They're hitting in their receiver screens or key ones. They're stretching them horizontally, and they're attacking them right at them as well. It's been a nice game plan from offensive coordinator Jake LeBurge. And honestly, I've kind of liked the attack or the kind of, I guess, mentality that offensive coordinator Jake LeBurge has brought to this offensive unit all season long. And it'll be interesting, Noah, turning the page. I know, as we've talked about quite often, don't want to get too far to ahead ourselves, but 6 minutes to go in the regular season of a kind of a meaningless game. All eyes are going to start to turn towards Okanagan and the prep work at practice all next week. I'm sure you guys are going to be hard at work at practice trying to game plan and try to adjust a little bit of what you guys have done all season to go up there and give your best effort to try to knock off the Okanagan Sun.
We'll see if Jake LeBurge has some new wrinkles for the Sun that we haven't seen all year. And here is Jude back into the game as his crowd starts to go crazy. They're getting fired up, Cole. We'll see if the Raiders can put the one last finishing touches on the board. A late touchdown here would basically seal it for them. We're under 6 minutes to play. Jupe is in the shotgun with 2 men in the backfield. Snap to Jupe. Fake. Oh, man, Stoberg was wide open. He doesn't throw it to him. He'll throw to the right side, and the pass is caught, but pushed out of the back of the end zone. Cameron Stoberg was wide open initially. I don't know why Jupe didn't throw it to him.
I'm going to love to see a replay, as we've seen Blaze McCarty make remarkable catches last week, specifically one-handed touchdown grab. Did he get a foot in? I believe he was just out of bounds, but it's going to be close. Riley McDonald, the one that was causing some pressure.
Oh, I don't think he got a foot down.
I don't think so either. It was close. Blaze McCarty has one heck of a catch radius, but unable to get his foot down.
Second down and goal. Jupe shotgun. Snap to him. He looks. He throws to the end zone. And the ball is caught for the touchdown. Touchdown. Touchdown! Raiders! And that could be the last touchdown Raiders call of the year. And it's a good one. It's fitting. It's Parker Mossgrib. And that is the guy who's carried this offense all year long. Cole, this gives me an opportunity to ask you a question I've been wondering about. The quarterback position. What have you seen? What do you think going forward?
Yeah, I'm going to love to get into this conversation. I think we could probably take the next 5 minutes to do it, but I got to give a massive shout-out to Parker Mossgrip. I was giving a little bit of crap down on the field. Remarkable, actually amazing to think, Noah, his first receiving touchdown of the season. It went all year long without a touchdown catch. 0. I told him I was having a little bit of a all-star debate of who my 5 receivers in the BCFC for the All-Stars were going to be this year. I said, Parker, you were coming down to that 5th guy. I look at the touchdown category, a goose egg through 12 weeks. So he's got to be a happy one that, as you said, a heart and soul guy for this Raiders offense, not only blocking the ball, catching the ball. He does a lot of the dirty work, and to get rewarded like that, most likely going to be the last touchdown of the 2025 season here at home. Love to see it, and he's going to be a big part of next week. If this Raiders team's able to knock off the Okanagan Sun up in Kelowna, Parker Mossgrip will be a big reason why. But before we get into it, Noah, we will throw it back as Cole McQueen will have the opportunity to go, I believe, 5 for 5 on extra points here today. You did hit me with the quarterback conversation. I want to get into that one with you.
Let's just get into it right now, Cole. I feel like there's an injured
looks
player.
like, yeah.
Pretty good opportunity to talk about this here. The quarterback situation for the Raiders, Cole. How do you see it?
Yeah, so in my opinion, and obviously I believe the coaches will end up making this one at practice and taking what they've seen throughout the game and throughout the season into account. But for my money, Noah, and no offense to the other quarterback, because I feel like you even seen it here today of the value of having another backup quarterback that you can trust coming into the game to provide you some valuable snaps. For my money, Noah, I think I would go with obviously pending kind of health next week, the younger Zach Golab, but pending this extra point, we'll chat about it here in a little bit to end today's broadcast. No, I can't believe 5:32 left in our first season.
It's been a fun one. Here's McQueen to put the finishing touches on. It is good. And the Raiders lead at 35-18. Continue your conversation, Cole.
It's remarkable, too, Noah. Just a quick side note here before we get going. The Raiders average 20 points per game here throughout the season, and they have 35 here to end the regular season. They must have known we've been complaining up here in the booth of some of these defensive slug matches we've had to call here this season. The Raiders offense doing a majority of the heavy lifting here today. But talking about the quarterback position, Noah, I think it's a tough one. As we've seen, Braden Jupe had most definitely his best game here in 2025 season here today. He's made multiple big throws that we haven't really seen him make all season long. The corner route there to Parker Moskript, we've seen him miss that one, I believe 2-3 weeks ago
West Shore.
To the exact same player in Parker, right? Where it looks like Braden Jupe's playing like a much more confident Braden Jupe here today. That being said, I think I guess you don't want to call it maybe the upside of a guy like Zach Golab that I feel like can kind of do the same things as a guy like Braden Jupe, but gives you that upside of a young guy that's still growing and learning in this game.
And here's the return down the left side, and that is Pharaoh Hassan. And that's a guy that I'm surprised we didn't see a little bit more of Cole in this game. A little disappointing after he had a really nice run. And here's, you see there, the kickoff by McQueen. It's a good one.
But it'll be interesting. I think the Raiders, whatever way you slice it, if we're being honest, obviously we're biased, whatever you want to call it, Raiders home broadcast, it's going to be tough sledding, whatever way you call it, going up there in Okanagan trying to knock off the number 1 seed. But
no doubt,
it'll be curious to see when you have, a guy like Felice Toscano as well. Kind of, banged up right now, hasn't played the last 2 weeks. Can they get him back in the lineup?
Quintarius Lusk,
Tanai Wisdom.
Yeah.
Right? Arguably the reigning sack king in the BCFC. And when you talk about a guy like Tanai Wisdom, Quintarius Lusk, is there anybody better than the tandem of Summers and Williams, Jaquintus Summers and Jarvion Williams up there in Okanagan? Both them up over double-digit sacks. Jaquintus with 12, Jarvion with 10. Those guys will kick off here tonight versus the Kamloops Broncos. I'd be amazed if they even touch the field, if we're being honest.
And speaking of that, Cole, another thing that comes to mind is the loss of Chase Hahn today. That's another thing to keep an eye on. That Raider tackle, I haven't seen Hahn back in the game. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but that is another thing to keep an eye on. If they are unable to block the Okanagan Sun ends, it's going to be a long day for whoever is playing quarterback for the Raiders.
Ty Teal as well. Ty Teal actually lost last week on the ferry ride over to Chilliwack. Ends up sustaining an injury on the ferry ride, unable to go in the game. They're able to pivot to is it Jace Brennan? Excuse me.
Jace with a J. Yeah.
And then today, as you mentioned, Chase Hahn leaving the game.
Jace and Chase,
the tackle tandem. Hopefully those guys are healthy.
Here's a shot deep down the field, and it looks like there's an obvious pass interference that is not going to be called.
Wow, yeah. That's a tough one, as the field referee was right in sight of calling that one, but keeps the flag in his pocket. I also thought that the timing was a little bit early of the defender making a play on the ball, but let's see here on the replay. Could have been a bang-bang play.
This is also the third-string quarterback in there, Cole. That's Finn Cavani.
Yeah, I didn't think the Raiders defender gave the receiver an opportunity to catch that ball.
Seemed pretty cut and dry to me. I thought that was definitely pass interference. So the punter in to kick this one away. And we will get another shot for the Raiders offense here. Deshaun Jacobs picks the ball up, runs down the right side. Here goes Jacobs into the secondary. Jacobs still on his feet and taken down there.
Oh! Wow, he stayed on his feet. Deshaun Jacobs, man. What a run from this kid. What a late addition as well to this BI Raiders squad. trying to get the ball in his hands anytime you can is just a massive asset for your team, whether it's special teams, offensively. But watch this, Noah. In our broadcast location, we kind of lost him here. Thought he went down. He stays on his feet, actually.
It's so hard to see down in this end zone here, Cole, from the booth. Eh?
Watch this. He looks like he goes down here.
Oh, my goodness. He's still on his feet. And what a run by Deshaun Jacobs.
Looks like 5 yards away from the goal line. I'd love to see the Raiders reward him here for this hard running and keep him on the field. Be your running back here, but it looks like it's Parker Wills.
It looks like the penalty's going to go against the Rams, Cole. This is going to give
Nico Hornacek's coming into the game for his
Nico Horniansky, baby. Here we go. I've been waiting all day for it.
For his first action. Could be of his CJFL career. Definitely of the 2025 season.
Oh, Lord, Cole. I want to see him throw a touchdown so badly. You have no idea. And the running back, Cole, wearing number 78. A quarterback wearing number 21. The running back wearing number 78. Does it get any better than this, Cole?
It does not. This you can tell you're in the late territory of a Week 12 game here. I would love to see Nico throw a touchdown pass as you, Noah.
Justin Trimmer is the running back wearing number 78. Our quarterback, Nico Horniansky, wearing number 21. I've coached them all year long. They're going to give it off the right side to Trimmer, and he takes it ahead for a short gain.
A little bit of an update. I do see Chase Hahn back into the game at right tackle for the VI Raiders, so that's a good sight to see. Does have a spat on his right ankle, Noah, so obviously feeling good enough to come back into the game, but probably one to monitor next week up in Okanagan that he's probably going to be fighting through a little bit of pain for sure.
They're running in the plays, Cole, here. The receiver, like high school football, the receiver ran in the play. I don't think they have a microphone in Nico Horniansky's helmet. Horniansky, I want him to throw a touchdown here so badly. Let's see if they let him throw.
2nd and 5, I hope so.
Come on, baby. Come on, Nico. I've coached him all year long. He's a good kid, a fun guy to be around. Horniansky calls for the ball. He's going to throw it. Horniansky puts it up. Corner of the end zone! It is caught! Touchdown! Raiders! Nico Horniansky! What a throw!
And he finds 5th year number 2, Harmon Ahuja. Death taxes in the corner round. You'll love to see it. As you mentioned, Noah, Nico coming into the game and 3rd snap of the game, he's throwing a touchdown pass. Gotta love to see that, and you love to see it for Harmon Ahuja, who's had a long season as well in his 5th and final year in the BCFC. Great throw by Nico as well.
What a ball!
Gave his receiver every opportunity to come down with it. Harm
Perfect throw on the
delivers.
Do we have a quarterback controversy here, Cole?
Maybe we go 2 series on, 2 series off for all 3 of them next week. And we call it at that. Love to see it from Harmon, though, as you mentioned. 5th year guy ending his CGFL career at home with a touchdown from Nico.
1 throw, 1 touchdown for Nico Horniansky. Congratulations, Nico Horniansky. I believe that is your first CJFL touchdown pass, and it's a pleasure to call it from the broadcast booth with you. Here's Cameron Stoberg going to attempt the extra point, and I think he's got it, Cole. Cameron Stoberg, the receiver, boots the extra point through. This is the most fun I've had all year.
He does indeed. Man, what a last 8 minutes of game time.
Electric!
The game was starting to get close there. 10-point ball game, the Raiders pulling away and putting an exclamation on the last win of the season, getting some of their depth options in here, and you got to love to see it. The morale after this one is going to be very high.
Nicholas Horniansky has thrown his first CGFL touchdown pass, and the Raiders have a 42-18 lead as this crowd is going nuts.
Look at the fans. They're loving it all.
Oh, baby, let's go.
That's what it's all about, too, honestly. I know you've chatted about it a few times. The turnaround. We chatted about it week number 4, was it, when they opened for the season opener against Valley, and talking about how much that win did for them 2 years ago and kind of rejuvenating some of the fan base in the community here to buy back in.
We'll see if we can get it back one more time here. Here is Cole McQueen to boot it away. Wow, I'm just overwhelmed with joy for Nico Horniansky there. Here's the kickoff, and there's a penalty flag down. It looks like it might have been an offside on the Raiders as the return. And guess who, Cole? This is our guy. This is Pharaoh Hassan with a really good-looking return near the midfield stripe.
How have we not seen more of Hassan this game? I know I kind of contradicted myself a little bit there of the depth in the running back room, and kind of hard to get him snaps over guys like Badenhorst and Jones, and even Becking as a fifth-year guy. But as a first-year kid, every time the ball's in his hands, he provides a big spark for the Rams.
You can see there Declan Robbins, the fifth-year player for the Raiders. Congratulations to Declan Robbins on a really good career for the Raiders. He's being sent off here the right way. He's on the field for his final game at NDSSQ Stadium here in Nanaimo.
Yeah, no, maybe a good time to shout out both fifth years on each side of the ball, starting with the Vancouver Island Raiders, as you mentioned, defensive end Declan Robbins, 2024 All-Canadian, and Felice Toscano not in uniform here today. Harris Malik, defensive end, who got injured last week on the sideline. I see him down there ripping around on the crutches, so in good spirits. Harmon Ahuja, wide receiver, who just caught that last touchdown pass for the Vancouver Island Raiders. Kaya Saunders, halfback. Marcus Harvey, defensive back. Those three guys, even in four of those guys there, in Toscano, Harvey, Saunders, guys that have been here through some of the dark days, and they've been able to reap the benefits of seeing not a home playoff game, but a playoff game here. And other guys like Ruben Bonzu, wide receiver, as well as Quantarius Lust, defensive tackle. When looking at the Langley Rams, you have fifth-year guys like number 6, Aaron Linden, number 9, Charlie Campbell, number 17, Natel Tedeschi with his 2 touchdowns here today, Lucas Becking, Damon Badenhorst, Lucas Glenn, and Chris Prasad.
So congratulations to all the graduating players who will be moving on to greener pastures, for most of them hopefully, but for some people it never gets greener than playing CGFL football here. It is a wonderful time, and I'm glad to be a part of this with you, Cole. We'd like to thank our crew again at Roll Focus. You've been tremendous all year long helping us with the broadcast in our first season as commentators. And here's the throw downfield, and it's incomplete. Noah Atnikov alongside my color commentator Cole McGarvey. This is our final broadcast of the year, Cole, and any big reflections for you, any moments that really stand out? I got to be honest with you, Cole, that Nico Horniansky touchdown pass is number one for me.
I 100% agree with you, especially seeing a good kid like that, having a moment like that in a game. But just grateful, Noah. I know you share this with me, and just feeling very lucky to be able to do this every Saturday with you.
Absolutely. So second down here for the Rams. The third string quarterback is in the game. It's Finn Cavani, and he throws to the left, and it's a hook and ladder, and it's complete, but right near where they originally caught the hook, the ladder doesn't go anywhere. And so knocked out of bounds there. It'll be 3rd down and 5, and we get a penalty flag, and I wonder if this is going to be on the Rams or if it's going to be on Aiden Bytel.
I think it's going to be on the Rams for a little bit of extracurriculars down there on the sideline. I think the Rams were trying to do a good job of kind of trying to tamper down things. I might have saw maybe someone say something that could have drew the flag. I thought HK was doing a good job down there on the field trying to mediate things. You can see right here, HK go to grab him. Sean Wakeling, special teams coordinator as well. Sean does a remarkable job with the graphics. I'd say best in the CGFL in my opinion.
So a 3rd down coming up here. As the dead ball foul there, it'll be a loss of down. 3rd down coming up, and they are going to go for this, are the Langley Rams. And if they don't get this, the Raiders could have another opportunity to put more points on the board. Here comes a blitz by the Raiders. They drop him straight back to throw. He fires deep down the right side, and the ball is incomplete, but there is a flag down. I think it's the right call.
Yeah, I believe it's Riley Olsen, number 39 there. Just didn't allow his man to fight back towards the ball, and that's going to draw a flag every day of the week. No, when we've talked about it quite a bit at length here today of the the matchup up in Okanagan next week. What are your initial thoughts on Prince George versus West Shore? I know we've chatted quite a bit, especially last week, about our feelings on one Gavin Session, but also a guy like Sawyer Thiessen, the quarterback matchup next week could be very fun up in in Langford.
You know, I'm a big fan of Sawyer Thiessen, Cole. I think he's one of the more underrated quarterbacks in this conference. I am a little disappointed we don't get the Island rivalry in the first round of the playoffs. I think if we had the Raiders and the Rebels, it could be a very interesting game with the Raiders having some momentum after getting that late win against the Rebels, as you see a big hit there, and that's by number 94. That is James Francis, who had the big hit on him there.
He rocked him.
Francis, a Barsby graduate.
Pharaoh Hassan able to take that one and keep on ticking, but yeah, remarkable hit there.
So 2nd down and 6 for the Rams as this Raiders defense looks to get off the field here. Finn Cavani in at quarterback, and he gives it inside, and the Raiders are all over that one. There is nowhere to go, and you see Quintarius Lusk there on the Raiders sideline. He's fired up. That defensive line with the backups in, making plays. 3rd down coming up here for the Rams, and this will be the ball game. Holy smokes, there were 3 guys in the backfield on him.
Looks like Bruce Jones is going to get back into the game.
Here we go. 3rd down, 6 yards for the first. Game on the line for the Langley Rams. Minute 45 to go in the game. They empty the backfield. Raiders bring a 6-man pressure blitz. The quarterback is hit hard. He throws. It's incomplete. And that is all she wrote for the Langley Rams. Good pressure by the Raiders. Cole, I don't know if you saw what number it was.
I did not see what number, but I know I like to see the death taxes in the Winnipeg corner out. Death taxes and Sean Arabsky sending the absolute house because that guy does not shy away from bringing the pressure and leaving his secondary man-to-man and on the islands because, man, the amount of times I've seen 2 linebackers come right down the pipe is just ridiculous. 6-man pressure, as you said, looks like number 38, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, in on the quarterback pressure there. But regardless if it's the 1s or the 2s, whatever group it's in the game, Arabsky, the former safety, trusts his secondary to be man-on-man and have his front 7 absolutely bringing the pressure.
A minute and change to go here. We'll see how aggressive the Raiders want to be. And they're going to go jet sweep to Harmon Ahuja, who cuts it upfield. Ahuja still on his feet. Ahuja pulling defenders with him. And he's got a gain of about 8.
Harmon's another one, man. The last bit of his career right here, last minute and 28 seconds. He's going to go out with a bang and keep running as hard as he can, continue to fight for extra yards when he can as well. Very happy for a guy like Harmon to get rewarded the way he has today, get in the end zone once again. I know it's been a tough season for him, but to end it like this one, especially next week when they got a lot of, unfinished business up in Okanagan to take care of. Hopefully they're able to punch their ticket to a Cullen Cup.
Horniansky in the shotgun. And they will give it to Jack McLeod off the left side. And McLeod is close to the 1st down. We'll see if he's got it.
I think based on the referee's foot, yep.
It is a 1st down. And the chains will move and the drive continues for the Raiders.
If you're the VI Raiders here, you definitely do not want to hand the football back to the Langley Rams. You want to try to run this clock out here and end this one on a very positive. As what a performance here from the Raiders. As I mentioned, coming into this one with 20 points per game average, and they almost double it.
They run the play in there with the receiver. 10 seconds on the play clock. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. They're going to have to run on the line. They're going to have to use a timeout here. No, they're going to take a delay of game. And that's part of the issue you have with running the plays in.
Yeah, you just don't have that much time, and that's another one that we kind of naturally didn't do. Play clock and 20-second play clock that could be implemented here in a few years. I know in the CFL, I believe that's the 2026 or 2027 change. I can't remember.
27.
But where it'll be basically, I know people got kind of confused with it's a 35-second play clock, but nothing changes about the 20 seconds that you're going to get.
The 35 seconds starts as soon as the ball hits the ground. So as soon as the tackle's made, ball's incomplete, the clock just automatically starts rather than the referee blowing it in.
Correct.
Horniansky in the shotgun here, and he'll give it off, and nothing doing there. So 43 seconds to go in the 4th quarter, and we'll see how aggressive the Raiders want to be here on 2nd and long with young Nico Horniansky in there at quarterback.
Yeah, looked like it was Sean and Carson in on the tackle there for the Langley Rams.
We'll see. What do you think, Cole? Do you drop the young quarterback back to throw and give him one more pass?
I'd love to see it, but of course that's why I'm up here in the broadcast booth and not down on the sideline calling plays.
Second down at about 20. Horniansky in the gun. It looks like they're going to let him throw. Horniansky drops back. He's going deep. He's got Stolberg open. Stolberg's got it. Cameron Stolberg to the 20. Cameron Stolberg to the 5. Cameron Stolberg. Touchdown! Raiders.
Oh my goodness, man. What a feeling. And Nico Horniansky comes into the game. What is he? Is he 2 for 2 with 2 touchdowns? Holy smokes.
I cannot believe what I just saw. This is electric in the booth right now.
Cameron Stolberg, underthrown pass, was able to adjust to it much better than the Rams defense did, and he's able to come up with his first. Is that his first career touchdown as well for Cameron Stolberg?
That is his. I believe that's his first career touchdown. I cannot believe what I just saw. What a ball by Horniansky in between 2 defenders. And Cameron Stolberg does the rest.
Man, what a feeling that's got to be. This is exactly what the doctor ordered if you're the Vancouver Island Raiders going into next week. Go in feeling very good about yourself and on a high.
Quarterback coach Jake LeBears is fired up for Nico Horniansky. 2 passes, 2 touchdowns, goal.
And you got to love to see it. A kid that's grinded it out all season long, not only all season, the last 2 seasons. And having experience as a backup quarterback, you don't get many reps throughout the season, especially when the season gets later on in the year. So to come in like that with not a lot of reps throughout the week, I'd imagine, and perform, gotta feel good if you're Nico. Almost a darn near 50 burger.
You might have a 158.3 quarterback rating right now. Perfect rating.
Goodness. I talked about the Raiders doubling their points per game average. 50 burger to end the year almost.
And how about the play call by Jake LeBears there, Cole? Just giving him a chance to throw the ball. I love it.
Players coach, right? Knowing who's in the game, understanding the situation as well, and I love to see it.
That was some of the most fun I've had all year, Cole, with you in the broadcast booth. What an end to the season it is here. And maybe a quarterback controversy going into next week with Nico Horniansky making his push to be the starter in Okanagan. And the return is taken down at the 32-yard line.
I mean, man.
We might have to get another guy into this conversation. Do we have 3 here in Vancouver Island?
2 for 2. My goodness.
We haven't seen this type of quarterback efficiency since Jordan Yance.
I was just going to say, since Jordan Yance. My goodness. What a way to end the season, though. No, I couldn't have asked for a better way, especially if you're a VI Raiders supporter as well here at NDSSQ Stadium today.
I cannot believe Cameron Stolberg just took that ball 50 yards for a touchdown on 2nd and 20. Okay, so one of the most fun VI Raider games I've ever been a part of. Here is Finn Cavani in at quarterback to end the season for the Rams. And it looks like they've taken a delay of game, so right on par with the Rams this year.
I think one last shout-out to all the fifth-years playing in this one. Their last career CGFL games, once again, Declan Robbins, Felice Toscano, Harris Malik, Harmon Ahuja, Kai Saunders, Marcus Harvey, Ruben Bonzu, Quantarius Lusk, and for the Langley Rams, Aaron Linden, Charlie Campbell, Natel Tedeschi, Lucas Becking, Damon Badenhorst, Luke Glenn, and Krish Prasad.
You see there young Nico Horniansky. He's getting all the love from his teammates. The 3rd-string quarterback for the Raiders coming in. 2 passes, 2 touchdowns. Congratulations, Nico Horniansky. No one deserves it more than you. First down, and the screen out to the right there. And now he's going to try and throw the ball, and he's taken down there. And that is number 39. That's Riley Olsen who made the tackle.
I really enjoyed seeing some of these young guys get in the game and make some plays for the Raiders, and also brings a tremendous amount of trust and hope for the future that some of these guys that even next year could fill tremendous roles.
Absolutely. Can you see how much time is left, Cole?
Last play of the game, buddy.
This is it, the final play of the game. Cavani under center. He gives it up the middle. And it's Lucas Becking who takes it forward for a short gain. And that is all she wrote. The gun sounds. The horns blow in the stands. The Raiders have won. They are victorious 49-18. And they will end the season, Cole, with a winning record 5-4-1.
What a turnaround for the Vancouver Island Raiders. As you mentioned, 5-4-1. Wasn't so long ago that these Vancouver Island Raiders lost 97-0 down in Langford. Unclear future as who was going to take over, who was going to steer them in the right direction. They bring in Sean Arabsky, and after 1 year at the helm, he turns them around to a 5-4-1 record, returns them back to the playoffs for the first time in 2021. Got to be a great feeling, but can't get too high as you got to turn your attention to the Okanagan Sun, and I would imagine Coach Arabsky will not be waiting too long before he does that.
Cole, let's talk about your players of the game. For the Raiders on offense, who you got?
There's a lot of ways we can go here, Noah, especially with the amount of points we had scored here today. I think I'm going to leave my game ball for someone that you're going to want to do. You can do that for you. I'm going to go with Harmon Ahuja for my game ball, fifth-year guy, able to get back into the end zone, able to make a couple plays here today. I'm going to pass it back over to you, Noah. Who's your game ball going to for the Vancouver Island Raiders here today?
Well, on offense, Cole, I coach the quarterbacks here Monday to Friday, and then I call the games on Saturdays, so I got to give it to Nico Horniansky. Nico Horniansky's been a great soldier all year long. He's worn number 21 in home games. I know he wasn't thrilled about that. There's only a limited amount of single-digit numbers available. Horniansky, a great kid at practice, always good vibes to be around. He's a fun guy to coach. I'm just so happy for Nico Horniansky that he was able to throw 2 passes today, and not only did he throw 2 passes, Cole, he threw 2 touchdown passes, and very happy for him. Cole, let's talk about the defensive side for the Raiders. Any game balls to give out today?
Yeah, I got to go with Aiden Bytel, who's had himself a nice month of the season here, making plays all over the field, whether it's intercepting the ball, breaking up passes, huge solo tackles, whatever it may be. Aiden Bytel is doing it, especially the last 2 weeks without Felice Toscano in the lineup as well. When he got banged up versus Victoria, Aiden Bytel started taking on that responsibility of covering a guy like Zion Brown. So love what I've seen here from Aiden Bytel the last few weeks. Langley Rams-wise, tough one to really go, especially when they put up 49 points against, but it'll be interesting to see what the Rams do here with a lot of question marks going into their future with, maybe coaching, quarterback, a lot of the prominent positions. But I'm curious, Noah, what did you see from a defensive perspective and maybe game ball for the Vancouver Island Raiders?
From the Raiders, Cole, I would have gone with Bytel as well. I thought he had a tremendous day, the interception, and a big hit in the secondary as well. I thought Bytel was all over the football today. It is a tremendous scene down here on the field, Cole. These seniors have been through a lot with the Raiders. The 0-10 debacle a couple of years ago, and now to be sitting here with a 5-4 winning record and going into a playoff game against the Okanagan Sun next week, it's got to be a tremendous feeling for these seniors who went through hell and back with the Raiders. And Cole, any final thoughts as we go into next week against the Okanagan Sun?
First of all, I'm very excited for that matchup next weekend and the playoffs to be here, but can't be happier to end the season like this. Our first year up in the broadcast booth, buddy. I think it went pretty well from our perspective. Obviously, we're a little bit biased, but appreciate everybody for following along all season, enjoying our commentary. I thought we did a pretty good job and brought a little bit of a new twist, a new flavor to the BCFC this year. So for Noah and I'm excited, number one, to be back next year, Noah, but the season in the 2025 year hasn't ended yet as we have playoff around the corner.
It's been an awesome season, Cole. It was my dream when I was a kid to be a sports broadcaster, in particular to be a play-by-play football commentator. So I couldn't have been happier to do it this year with you, not only my color commentator, but a guy that I've known as a friend since the minute I got here and I met you 4 or 5 years ago, Cole. Final thoughts here for me. Just a lot of gratitude that we were able to be in the broadcast booth together this season and experience the first winning season for the Raiders in multiple years here. For my color commentator, Cole McGarvey, our tremendous team at Roll Focus, I am Noah Atnikov, signing off one last time this season. We thank you for joining us wherever you might be across this beautiful country of Canada. Thank you. Good night, everybody.